Hi everybody, and welcome to a new game on StorytellerSpira's channel. We are going to be playing Hunter, the Reckoning, and this game is known as The Land Between. And really, already, baby. Alright, well, so to get started, this game is going to be set in Dover, Tennessee, which is just south of the Land Between the Lakes. It is a national park that passes through the lower border of Kentucky and the upper border of Tennessee. Our players, if you're not very familiar with Hunter the Reckoning, are human beings who have been imbued with an ability to sense supernatural creatures as well as certain gifts that help them fight them. That's the main premise. And so our four PCs are these hunters. They don't know exactly how they got their powers, what source it is. Some believe it'll be divine intervention. Some believe it's something else entirely supernatural. They're not entirely sure, but each one sometimes, designs their own explanation for it. So let's do quick intros, and then I'll give some more of this game's setting. I will also get some music started. But first off, let's have Revolver C as Albert Brother Reese tell you a little bit about himself.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm playing as Albert, also known as Brother. I am from California. I'm a biology professor at UC Berkeley, so I'm pretty high up there in terms of intelligence and wits and whatnot. I am going to be playing as a Defender Zeal, which basically means I'm like, if you ever played like an MMO, basically the tank. I protect others around me, as well as identify the supernatural around me as well.
Awesome. Next we will have Koznark as Father Peter Lilly.
Hi, I'm Father Lilly. I am a priest of the Catholic Church. I was a priest before, but I was losing faith. And when I found my powers, I realized it was God's will that I go and I fight the abominations that are beginning to plague his earth. I am a judge, a zeal judge, so there's all sorts of weird, cool things about that. I think I'm like 28 years old, and like I said, a Catholic priest. I'm also blind, so I have a bandana around my head, or not bandana, like a cloth around my head. Can't see. Well, not naturally, at least. And yeah, full Roman Catholic priest garb, traditional style, none of this newfangled suit and tie garbage. And I got sent this way because of some message on the Hunter net, and my one of my superiors in the church thought it was good to take a look at this.
And next we have Chard DTY as Chad Waterlily.
Hey everyone, I'll be playing Chad Waterlily, who has actually been hunted by vampires since he was pretty much 10, 11 years old. The exact same one would come into his room and feed on him week after week after week, and it started to give him antisocial problems, and life just really kind of spiraled down from there from him, just because constant paranoia. Finally met a girl, and she tried to help him out by slaying the vampire, and she got turned herself. Eventually, Chad was sent to a mental institute where he met another hunter named Giorgio, and he ended up actually staking the vampire that had been hunting Chad for so long, and sent him on his way to Tennessee to help find, or sorry, not to help find, but to find other hunters and see if he can learn the life of hunting. And he is, what's the term? Martyr. He is a martyr. He just knows how to be bait and how to sacrifice himself. So, yeah.
All right, and last but not least, Modi answers as Sean Malcolm.
As she said, I'm playing Sean Malcolm. He grew up as an army brat, moving around various places, but eventually decided to settle down and get a degree in network security from Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee. So he settled down for a while, got studied very heavily in cybersecurity, and eventually became a white hat hacker. He would go around hacking various businesses and corporations, trying to find vulnerabilities before somebody who would actually exploit them would, and sell it back to the company for money. And he did this for a while and was fantastic at his job. And slowly he started to realize he had a general sense of conspiracy about him. Something was off about some of these companies, some of the things. And as he dug deeper and deeper, one day on just a randomly hacking a corporation, he got into into the deep heart of their server and started, browse around some files and saw some weird names. Curiosity had the best of him, and he opened a file he shouldn't have, and was awoken to the world of the supernatural around him. Immediately killed his internet, wiped his computer, and backed out immediately, burning his entire path. He realized that he had understanding of the NSA and other people's capability, that if these people were who he thought they were, that they were going to come from it. Nobody should see this kind of information in life. So he immediately went dark. He left his wife and child in the middle of the night, cut all of his electronic devices, and fled into the woods. From there, he, with inspiration from the messengers, slowly started putting together some semblance of an existence. Found access to the Hunter net, a database in the dark web for hunters to communicate on, where he chose the handle Mobius. As he wandered around, he eventually came to Dover, Tennessee, and something led him there, and he saw the events starting to unfold around him, the unusual sightings, the rangers reporting mysterious things happening in the parks. And as this all starts to culminate, and a dark sense of foreboding happened upon the city, he decided to put out a dispatch into the Hunter net to bring people in and deal with this.
All right. So again, we're gonna go over a little bit about Honor the Reckoning, because some people might not know as much about it as they might other World of Darkness or White Wolf game. So in Hunter the Reckoning, I had mentioned these hunters were regular people at one point in time, but then came face to face with the supernatural. Something bled from one side into their lives, and it caused them to be imbued with gifts that allow them to see such things and fight them. Our characters all have their own backstories that they've told you. To give a little bit more about hunters, they are often presented with signs that, again, they don't know exactly who is giving this to them, gods, angels, or something else entirely. But suddenly a billboard that was, advertising a certain alcohol might switch to say they're following you, or you must make them stop. Something that gives them a sign something is nearby that is supernatural, likely hunting humans, and that they're the only ones that can stop it. Our game is taking place in Dover, Tennessee, as I mentioned a little earlier. It's a very small town in Tennessee, approximately 1,400 people, 95% white, very rural southern town. It has 3 major radio stations, 2 of which are called the greatest hits of all time. And our characters have all made their way there either because of a message they found on the HunterNet, which is a online secure database where hunters reach out to each other, exchange information, and then also give, references to this area has been infected or I need help here. They can travel across the states to help one another or just be aware of what's going on here and there. So while Dover is mostly quiet suburbs with portions of woods and lakes, breaking up the small housing developments, shopping is almost always at least a short drive away, and many people actually own their own property with one house down miles of road. The city lies just south of the Land Between the Lakes. It is a large national park, about 170,000 acres. It's got elk and bison prairies. It's got old abandoned cabins, and below the Tennessee border there's even some churches tucked in around in the woods. From both public reports, so newspaper, television news, and notes from the HunterNet, our players here have been informed that there are supernatural hotspots showing up in the land between the lakes, as well as the surrounding towns, especially Dover. The first sign that may have been easily overlooked initially by the hunters were that there were some strange deaths among the animals in the park, especially the elk and the bison. The marks left on the animal corpses were unlike normal predators. They were teeth and claw marks that were too deep, strange burns, things like that. The mayor began rallying the park rangers and the local police to look into events and increase security. But as time went on, the attacks continued, and a keen eye would actually be able to tell that it was more calculated rather than unchecked malice. All of that preceded the events involving the humans in the nearby towns. Folks using the campgrounds in the park began reporting sights and sounds that left most rolling their eyes, though the rangers took down every report. Finally, in town, certain people began acting differently, and most everyone became more paranoid about leaving their house at night or allowing their children to roam free. Even the mayor, a once more wild and boisterous personality, had some reserved feelings lately, rarely leaving her home, and she looked shaken and tired whenever anyone did see her. Overall, the air in the town, to those more tuned to such things, like our hunters here, has become still, and the lights in the sky seem a little more dim. So everyone has made their way to Dover. Some of you have already either spoken in person or more over the net. And after maybe a couple days of one or two of you needing to settle in, Sean would have contacted you over the net saying that you should all meet. And he would point out a dive bar in the middle of nowhere where it's mostly just drunk rednecks that won't pay attention to what anyone else is saying, so you can actually talk freely.
Cool.
Sounds good.
I'm there.
Yeah, are we just starting at the bar,
Pretty
or
much.
how do you want to? Okay.
So I assume we would have all moved off to a smaller side table as opposed to sitting at the bar itself. Someplace where we can talk freely without even the bartender being suspicious.
Yeah, I would do that, but I mean, I'd still raise appearances. I'm like a 6'9" broad guy, so I would either just get looks just because, wow, he's so big, kind of thing. But
And for reference for viewers, this is our image of Sean Malcolm. So I imagine he would likely get there first.
And when I get there, I'll stop at the bar and grab myself a pint of Coors Light or something, whatever, if they're that fancy, or Bud, whatever they have, and a shot of their rail bourbon, and find my way over to the to a booth, take a seat, and just start sipping at my beer.
They've got basic stuff on tap, so yeah, they pour you a pint and they give you some whiskey that even looks like it's just got some oil sitting on the top of it, and you find yourself a seat.
But that's about all I can afford, so you'll take it.
It's a Bush Town, Bush Light.
Ugh.
Alright, who's more punctual?
I would probably arrive last just because of I don't know the area. I'm from out of state, so I would have to get a rental car or a taxi or something and find my way over there. So
Yeah, I'm assuming there's not mass transit in this town.
No.
Yeah,
There's
so
not even a bus.
I'm walking.
I'm blind, so I don't know that I want to arrive second.
I'm good to ride second. Do we know what each other looks like, or what we're doing, who we're meeting, kind of a thing?
Sean obviously
assuming-
has a rose inside a book sitting on the table. It's a joke. Mobius, what would you tell them to look for?
I'll have a Bible sitting on the center of the table, open, and just say, look for the man with a shot and a beer reading a Bible.
I'll walk in and ask the bartender for just like just for Coke, and he looks like he might have already tied one on before he came in there, and he'll walk up to your table.
So the bartender gives you like just one eyebrow lift and just pours you a Coke and slides it across the table, almost giving a look like, you can ask for more if you want, I don't care.
What do you queer?
I'll just look at him. I'm the designated driver. Don't worry about it. And I'll get it. I'll look around for Sean.
All right, it's a small bar. It's not like it's particularly full, so you'll pretty immediately notice a young man, well, actually, a middle-aged man sitting at a table with a shot of beer and an open Bible.
I'll walk up. Sean?
Yeah. Which one were you?
Oh, I'm Chad. And he's just gonna like slide in kind of awkwardly. I'm assuming they're like booths,
Yeah.
or is it like, slide in opposite of you into the booth.
Thanks for coming. I hope it wasn't too bad of a ride out here.
It took me quite a long time. I hitchhiked all the way down here from Washington. How long have you been doing this for?
What day is it? Sorry, it's I like 11 months at this point. It's been an interesting ride.
Well, that's about 12 months longer than I've been doing it. So, where's everyone else?
I'd probably, what's the name of the bar?
The buckshot.
I like it. I'll probably be on the right street, just tapping my way down the sidewalk, walking towards whatever direction the last person said, and I'm gonna listen to hear. Do I hear anyone like on the street near me?
You'll hear maybe a car passing every now and then. Maybe far down the street, you have very high perception. You'll hear like some people, and you'll hear a small group of people outside what sounds like a bar, just hooting and hollering, and like kind of punching each other in the shoulders. You hear like just having a good time.
I'm gonna walk towards the noise, and as soon as I'm close, I'm just gonna sort of, excuse me, can someone tell me where the buckshot is?
You're there, buddy. What you, looking to drown your worries or something?
Something like that, I think. I hear it's a great place to get lost.
You hear a couple guys behind the one that was speaking to you sort of chiding, like, elbowing each other and making, small talk about the blindfolded priest walking up to the bar. And the guy who was addressing you is just, you from an old joke or something, buddy?
Oh, you'll have to forgive me. I left my horse and rabbi at home, so it's just me today.
All 3 or 4 of the guys that were standing together, you hear them, like, burst out laughing and just sort of like, one of them slaps you on the shoulders. Good man. You need help inside or anything?
Nope. I think I'll find it. Just wanted to make sure I was in the right place. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
And I'll, find my way to the door, open the door, take a few steps in, kind of like tapping around a little bit, looking for tables, maybe one direction, and then, see if I can find the bar itself. And then, just take a seat at the bar, because, I can't see anything, so. And just kind of wait for maybe our friends to find me.
I'm not sure if my back is towards him or if
I would
Sean's
say
back is towards
most
him.
of the booths will be set like you can see the door. Problem is, the priest here is supposed to be looking for a guy with an open Bible on a table.
Details. Details. I guess I'll arrive next. I'll get like a rental car. I have pretty high resource, so I'll have like parked my car, kind of lock it, make sure that it's in a well-lit area that doesn't look like it's gonna be stolen or anything.
The bar has
Yeah.
a nice, like, gravel parking lot next to it and plenty of lights because they're always, playing horseshoes out there late at night.
Yeah, so I'll just park my car over there and just kind of tower myself out of the car. It's definitely like a smaller car than I'm not used to driving. And then I'll make my way in, kind of like duck my head over the little like banister part of it and look over, just kind of tower over everything and see the open Bible. I'll just make a straight beeline towards it, not even say hi to the bartender or anything.
You'll definitely catch a lot of heads and eyes turning to watch where you're going, but eventually they'll turn back to their own conversations or their lone drink.
Yeah, and I'll just casually say, Sean?
Sean, yes, and he'll kind of that awkward, like half get up, hold out his hand.
No, there's no need. You can sit down.
Thanks. And you would be.
Name's Albert, but you can call me brother.
Brother, thank you for joining us. I think we're still waiting on one more.
Would you have
and-
told us that he's blind? I feel like that's an important detail to tell someone over the hunter net.
Is his like sign
I
on name
would've-
Blindy McBlinderson? So like we would know.
Blind Faith? No, Blind Faith should be your handle.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't have mentioned
Canon.
the fact that I'm blind. I just would have said, basic young priest, and I said I'll be in traditional robes.
Oh, okay. So you're like in a priest garment?
Yeah, I'm in like a full Roman Catholic traditional, not the
Oh.
suit and tie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it would be pretty visible at the bar, just
Yeah.
sitting there, kind of like whatever, just sitting there.
I'll kind of like point back with like my thumb, be like, I think that's our missing party.
Oh, give me a moment. I'll take care of this. And Sean Earl, go ahead and walk over to the priest and just come up and gently put my hand on his shoulder, just like, Father.
Oh, hello, yes. Who's that?
My name is Sean. Are you here looking for somebody?
Oh, yes, Sean. I believe we're to meet. I'm going to hold my hand out. I'm Father Lily. Just to the side.
I'll return the handshake and just, good. Let me just lead you back to the table and I'll introduce you to the others. And he'll kind of just hand still on your arm, gently guide you over towards the seat. And
Thank you. I
Pointed out.
appreciate it.
not a problem. I appreciate you making your way out here. It's good of you to come out here and help me like this.
No problem. I love to see the country.
So I'll get Father Lily back to the table, get him seated at the booth, and scoot in next to him.
And real quick, so Sean, you've been in the town a bit longer. You're the one that was following these reports and gathered everyone here, more or less. You were at least the final voice in getting everyone together. You would definitely have a little bit more insider information about how the mayor has been acting strange after previously trying to rally more people together to watch the park, find out what these strange, probably animal-related attacks are, but, and then also try to, calm the public, make sure no one's thinking there's any kind of, terrorism or other strange happenings going on, quiet down the newspapers when they started talking about, bat people in the woods. But then she's gotten oddly quiet over the last week and has been avoiding even just speaking to the press. Even the sheriff's office and the police all seem to be just handling whatever situation they have to, but not speaking much.
So yes, as I so really quick up board, which one of you, who all is responding to the HunterNet post and who showed up otherwise?
I would have showed up otherwise.
But is that in character or out?
No, that was above board because I would know.
Yeah, I would have. Well, my superior would have responded on my behalf.
I think I would have. Hunter net.
Okay. So,
But not. Yeah. Anyways.
as you guys are aware, there's been just the weird things going on in the city. I detailed it all in the HunterNet post. I again appreciate all of you guys for coming out. I would get everyone to introduce themselves to each other. What exactly would you say your fortes are? Like, what would be your specialties at this point?
I would be the first to answer, but I'm just trying to clarify. Like, are you trying to ask about our, like, abilities, like our edge?
Not so much your creed, more of just, for instance, I would say I'm an IT hacker. Like, I know technology. I'm good at getting into places, blending in, and not being seen.
Got it. Well, I'm a university professor at UC Berkeley. I teach microbiology and forensic. So in that department, I'm excelling at. But as you can see from my stature, I can handle myself in a fight pretty well.
Good. Father?
I've spent many long nights mulling over decisions and choices, so it's probably fitting that, not being able to see, I was handed the scales of justice, and that's generally what I try to figure out. I'm quite keen on perceiving weakness, we shall say, in our quarry.
Good. That'll come in handy. And Chad, what do you have to offer?
While they were talking, he looks over at the bartender, makes sure he can't see him, and he takes like a flask out of his pocket and opens it and starts pouring a pretty cheap whiskey into that Coke that he ordered, and he takes a pretty big swallow. I haven't done anything like this. I'm good with a gun, and I've been used as bait plenty of times, and I know a bit about vampires, but besides that, this is all new to me.
How old's your character, Char?
He is young, like 21, young.
Okay. I'll kind of like glance over to you, like, boy, there are much scarier things out in the world than vampires. Let me tell you. If you're not ready for this, I suggest you go on back home to where you belong.
He's gonna look over. I think I'm ready for this. I'm just saying I don't know much. I'm sure I can handle myself.
There's plenty of room for all of us here. I don't think we need to be exclusive about this. We can be inclusive. There's no reason why he can't help. We were all young at one point.
Hey, as long as anyone here is willing to take up the good fight, I mean, we should be willing to accept any help we have. We're few in number, but mighty in spirit.
I agree, but experience is also a necessity. I don't want anyone getting killed for recklessness or inexperience.
If I die to make it so one of these fuckers gets got by one of you, then that's fine. Don't worry about me dying. You know, it's going to happen one day. So let's just leave it at that, and let's move on.
Well, Chad, I for one hope that you make it through with us. I think I'll look after you just in case.
Thanks, Father.
So, does anyone, you saw the post and you see what we're exactly going on around here. And I guess we should get this brainstorming going. Anyone have any specific ideas, anything that you're sticking out at you at first? I mean, you said, Father, that you spend a lot of time debating this sort of things. And, brother, you apparently have experience. I'm relatively newer to all of this, that I'm hoping one of you two would have something to shed on the situation here.
Well, I imagine you have a pinpoint GPS of where the attacks happen.
Yeah, I have that data.
then I suggest we try to triangulate where the attacks are happening, and then maybe try to figure out what we're dealing with after that.
Sean would actually have a bit of a hotspot idea, so 1 second.
Speaking of which, that reminds me. All of you guys have location turned off on your phones, right? People can fucking track you through that.
I don't know if you'd like to check. I'm gonna pull my phone out of my pocket and just hold it out to the table.
He'll take it. Is it locked of any kind?
No,
He'll unlock it and just start messing with it, disabling functionality here and there, and just been like, no, I got you, Father. You'll never have a safer phone.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I have like an old like T-Mobile flip phone, you know? It's like obviously a burn phone, not my personal line or anything.
Alright, so I have it up in stream, but I'll also post it in chat if it's easy for you guys. Just click on that. But this is a basic map of the land between the lakes. And kind of about that middle section is the split. It's a little lower, but just about where that black line is. Above is Kentucky, below is Tennessee. And in the more southeastern area is where Sean would have records of some more of these sightings, weird sounds during camping trips, and other things were going on other than the attacks on the elk and bison, which would be far north.
So
Okay.
I'll explain to that, and so it's so far it seems pretty located down in the land between the lakes, down in that park. But it's only a matter of time before the stuff starts spilling out, and stuff gets nasty.
And I assume the authorities have the bodies.
I would assume. I haven't been able to really follow up on that yet.
There haven't been as many, like, too much human death that's been connected yet. It's mostly been animals, but there have been, like I said, strange sightings and sounds in the woods, and just overall some strange things have been happening in town. People have changed their personalities, their attitudes, and there was at least 2 missing children. It's more, it's a higher rate than average, but not necessarily startlingly high for any area in the U.S.
So
To these monsters to be hiding deep in the woods.
that's where most monsters lie. The ones that are the most fearsome are the ones that hide among us.
Yes, big cities are lots of fun for that now, aren't they?
So where are these animal corpses? You said that there are many animal attacks with strange markings. Perhaps I could take a look at the carcasses to further, find out what we're dealing with.
He'll take a moment and pull up some picture gallery on his phone and slide it across to you and be like, "Those are the pictures I was able to procure myself. I mean, they're just animal corpses. I don't know what the Rangers decided to do with them, but we could obviously inquire further and get. But those are the pictures that I have saved."
Through the pictures, can I do like investigation? I know I probably won't get too much detail, but I might as well deal with what I got.
Sure. The animal pictures you were looking at?
Yeah, he showed me some pictures of the animal attacks and whatnot.
Chad would also like to do the same if he could use like his hunting background to see if he knows what any of the markings could be.
Sure. For Albert, brother, go ahead and give me perception investigation. And then, Chad, do you have investigation, or you just wanted to use, like, alertness?
Just to look at it and see if I could, like, if I've seen these markings before in the wild, what kind of scratches, what body parts are missing, things like that.
Alright, give me perception survival.
I got a 2. Can I use wits instead of perception? But
no, wits is deciding in the moment something. Perception is actually seeing things.
okay.
And it's
Yeah,
against-
I got 2.
What's it against?
6. 6 unless I say otherwise.
Jesus. Only one.
Which one are you in, Chard?
Oh, I'm in. I thought I clicked on the link. It's StorytellerSpira's one shot.
It's okay. I was like, I only see one roll, but if you told me you got one, we'll go from there for now. All right. So for brother, this I had kind of explained earlier, but what you see looks deliberate, and it doesn't look as much like natural predators as you might expect. Something does look supernatural about it to you. Some of them have deep claw marks or teeth marks, chunks like ripped out, but they also don't look like they've even really been eaten. It looks like they were just attacked. And I would say you get like a bit of a feeling of like it's a message more than a specific attack on the animals for any reason. And similarly, there are weird marks that look like burns, but not just like, you couldn't just take like a Zippo and like do this burn on them. It would be at most like a firework kind of, thing. Have to actually like go off against the animal. Definitely doesn't look like just kids messing around or any animals.
Right. Can I tell how big it would be just due to the bite marks? Like, is it pretty massive?
Decent size maw for the bite marks, and claws similarly would be thicker and like went deeper than any kind of wolf or anything else would.
Okay. I'll kind of relay that information. Like, well, we're not dealing with a predator.
And so for Chad, you would get pretty much the same, especially the animal marks.
We're not dealing with a predator. Predators would finish their prey. This is more of a warning.
What are any of the organs missing or anything like that? Can you tell?
No,
Not from the pictures, I can't tell.
it
I would
looks
have
like
to
they were
see-
just filled.
Yeah, I would have to see the body in person to whether or not any organs were missing.
Not to argue, but some animals that just kill quickly will sometimes just eat some of the smaller parts, like lungs, liver, something really quick, and then move on. So it could be for a predatory thing. We just don't know.
Yeah, but killing that many animals over a short period of time is not like any predator that I know of.
How short? It's out of character. How short of a time was it, and how many died?
Over the time frame that it started getting noticed, it wasn't just like one lone bison or elk being taken down. It would have been maybe a few found out in a field one day, and then like a couple days later, the rangers then like upped their investigations and found like a few more here or there. So over a week, every like couple days, some more were found.
All right, Chad will sit quietly.
I don't suppose the rangers or the police have anything physical evidence still in their
Well,
storage rooms or somewhere.
I would imagine the authorities have the human bodies and the rangers have the animals. We don't really need to see the humans too much unless there were any markings that they didn't notice. But the animals' carcasses should do just fine.
Well, probably it's roadkill in this area. Would they have held on to that? Then again, I guess there's an investigation. Would it not behoove us to see the humans too, though?
That would be ideal, but I don't have access to that kind of evidence, unfortunately.
Sean, son,
Yeah, what?
do you think I could use my phone back, please? Let me hold my hand out.
He'll hand it back.
Thank you. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get a hold of the sheriff and see if we can, maybe get a look at these bodies. And I'll sort of step off to the side and, make a couple phone calls.
Alright, unless the others can, maybe chat some more, but while you go ahead and try to reach the sheriff's office, it does go to a voicemail.
I was gonna say, whoever owns the parishes around here, maybe make some other contact calls to try to get in here or there, a little bit of politics, that kind of thing.
All right. Are you just gonna like 411 around?
No, I guess find a church directory, Catholic church directory, find the nearest actual church and see who the father is or whoever's in charge over there, and give that person a call.
Right. So you call a local church. It's like later evening, but after a little while, phone answers, and there's a, matronly, nice, young, or like middle-aged woman's voice over the phone. St. Thomas's, how can I help you?
Hello. I was wondering if I could talk to the father who runs the church, if it might be possible.
Father Abraham's not here this evening, but he'll be back in the morning. Can I take a message?
My name's Father Lily. I'm visiting the area and from the Archdiocese, and I was wondering, this is rather important. Do you think maybe you could give me a cell phone number or give him mine? And if he could call me?
Oh, well, it's not the sort of thing I would normally give out his phone number for. Where did you say you were from again?
From the Archdiocese. Surely God calls on us at any hour. My name is Father Lily. If you'd like, you can look me up. I should be in a directory.
Oh, well, yes. How about this? How about I get your phone number and I'll reach out to him?
Absolutely, that would be wonderful. Please do press that it is urgent, if possible, though.
Of course. And she'll, scramble around here. It sounds like there's a lot of papers and there's, pencils falling on the floor. Yes, what was the number?
I'll give her my phone number.
Alright, so she'll, pleasantly tell you that she'll try to get through to him and get him to give you a call back as soon as possible.
As he's kind of making that phone call, I'll kind of question Sean, so what made you find out about these attacks and what made you so curious about them?
Sorry, was that to me? Oh, sorry.
No, that's to Sean. Why are you on the phone?
Oh, sorry. Could you repeat that?
What made you so curious about the attacks and, how'd you find out about them?
I guess you could say I have really good intuition. I mean, look at the signs. It just, you saw the pictures, you saw what was going on, and he's just running the numbers. And the fucking bear didn't do something like that, and just, you notice one thing here, you notice one thing over there, and it just, I don't know. So there's something going on, and it's just, I felt, I guess the best way to put it is I felt compelled to be here, and just, there's a reason I'm here, and there's a reason all of us are here, and you guys wouldn't be sitting here if I wasn't right.
Well, I wouldn't be sitting here if there weren't other reasons for me being here, but you are correct. I did also receive some signs that I should be here.
Regardless of the other reasons, I'm just glad that you are. It's a bit daunting. I'm not exactly. I mean, I can gather intelligence, and that's not a problem, but not exactly the most fit and able to resolve the situation.
Right. Well, with my professor background, I'm sure I can take a look at those animal corpses at least with the ranger station, since it is an unidentified animal out there, should we say. Maybe I can inspect further on those carcasses.
Chad will kind of speak up. I'm good at tracking, and I know a lot about wild animals. I've encountered most of them, at least up north. I could probably come with you, and we could investigate together.
I have a quick question for you guys. You guys are a little bit, I kind of got the impression you guys know your way around a bear or a wolf. What impression do you get from this? Because is this are these animal killings giving you more the impression of somebody who is like a serial killer practicing on animals before they're ready to go take it out on, a human, working out their fantasies and trying to figure out exactly what they want to do or whatnot? Or do you get more of the impression of somebody who is trying to satiate some sort of desire, so that, you know, I'm going to sit here and smoke weed all day so that I don't do coke. Like, take it out on something lesser so they don't fall into doing something more drastic, like, you know, killing people.
I'm going to sit down as you're finishing up that sentence again.
Yeah.
Tapping my way back, but I already knew. I keep a good track of where I was, so.
Yeah, I'll kind of make note that he returns. And I'll kind of, you know, add, like, as I said earlier, I don't know what the motive is. All I know is it is sentient, and it is not a predator. This is most likely a warning of some kind to either mark territory or perhaps something more sinister. However, humans were involved in it, whether by accident or on purpose, is unknown. But we can't let it evolve, can't let it adapt.
Peter, did you say you made your way back to the table?
Yeah, I sat down right before Sean finished up talking about looking for motives.
Alright, everyone give me a perception awareness, or if you have something that's more akin to seeing signs and other such things, if you have an edge for it. Again, for everyone who isn't as used to Hunter the Reckoning as maybe other games, edge is the name of the powers that the hunters have, similar to disciplines or other things from World of Darkness.
I have discern, but that's more towards like people, whether or not they're supernatural in nature or not.
Yeah, just give me perception awareness then.
I got 4.
Ooh.
Oh crap! Can I? Oh, shit. Oh, it's
What?
fine. I meant to put awareness. I put alertness.
It's fine if you mix them up.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I wanted 3 in awareness.
I
so-
always give a bit of a mulligan after the first game in case someone
Yeah,
suddenly
that was
realizes,
my bad.
wait.
Yeah, I got a 1 anyways.
Alright, Chad will definitely be the first to see it. You're rolling too? Alright, we'll wait until Peter gets his roll in.
6
All right.
successes.
So actually, Father Peter is going to be the first to notice, but Chad will notice just a moment after him. You would notice the Bible that's still sitting open on the table. The letters on one of the pages start moving slowly. So that's why I wouldn't necessarily catch everyone else's attention, but they start to move away from the middle, and eventually there is a message left in the middle of the page that says "Faith in Ruins."
How does Father see it?
I would probably either sense it, or if it's a sign, I would just see it in the
All right.
blackness in front of me.
We'll say that he sensed it and immediately would say to Chad, "Can you tell me what that says?" So go ahead and knock that out.
Yeah, I'll kind of peek, what is that? Oh, could someone tell me what that says? And point towards the Bible.
Oh. Chad takes a big drink of his drink. It says faith in ruins, right?
Mhm.
It says faith in ruins. What am I seeing right now?
Boy, if this freaks you out, you got a long way to go.
Now, let's not be elitist. We were all chosen for this gift for a reason.
Not saying I'm elitist, just preparing him for what's to come.
It's a fair point.
We're not going to explain this?
It's a sign. Some sort of sign. We're being told a clue or a hint of some variety of what I don't quite know yet.
From whom? Is someone beaming this? What?
Yeah.
How?
It's a message from them.
Them. Maybe
The
he'll give you a
Watchers,
weird.
custodians, whatever you want to call them. Them. And he'll kind of
God.
lean in towards you and be like, "The Father will probably say angels."
I would not say angels.
I think
They
he
are
can hear
different.
you.
They are different messengers from angels, I believe.
What?
Cool. So this is all right. Let's. Yeah, it says faith in ruins. Let's just start from there. Are there?
Is it more of
there
a
ruins?
faith in the ruins, or your faith is in ruins?
Oh, that's a good question. Spirit, what does this say?
Faith in ruins.
In
No, Father's
ruins.
asking like a feeling. Like just reading it, do you feel like it means faith is in ruins, or the faith is in the ruins?
How do I feel, Spirit?
Asking the whole table.
Brother and Sean will be a little weaker. They might not have a perfect feeling about it. But Chad, since you had such higher successes, you would feel like it meant something like breaking down, even possibly something physically.
And I think it means something is like breaking. It's something is becoming ruined.
Oh, well, that's useful to know. Thank you.
I'll kind of give a sideways glance at a brother. Yeah, you're welcome, Father.
I won't even pay note to it, probably. I'd be more focused on like the pictures and what to do next. Try to get this like situated as quickly as possible.
What time is it? I don't recall.
I didn't say a specific time, but probably since it was like evening, Sean would have wanted to meet with you guys as soon as you were in town. 8, 9.
Okay.
After another minute or so, Father Peter's phone will ring.
Yes, hello. This is Father Peter.
Yes, this is Father Abraham. My assistant reached out to me, said that there was some sort of emergency. I'm sorry, you were Father Peter, she said?
Father Peter Lilly. Yes. Thank you for calling me back so quickly, Father. What was his name? Father what?
Abraham.
Father. Thank you for calling me back so quickly, Father Abraham. I appreciate it, truly.
Of course. Now, what is it I can help you with?
I am recently in town here. The church has had some worries about some very nasty going-ons in the area, and they believe it might be something like satanic worship or some maybe some local kids getting into a whole lot of no good. And I figured as the local leader of the faith here, you would have, I know, probably several people I could talk to. If maybe there was a way we could arrange with the police department to view some of the bodies, just so the Vatican can know that there isn't Satanism brewing in the hills, if you know what I mean.
I'm sorry. I know there have been some worrisome reports from campers probably drinking too much and thinking a coyote is some devil come out from some hellgate. But there's really nothing to worry about from what I've actually seen and read in the reports. I don't know exactly who you said you're with.
I'm with the Archbishop's office, and surely he did not send me here by error. Perhaps I would not want to go back to His Holiness reporting that you told me it was fine and not to worry about it. I figured they sent me this far from Rome for a reason. I do trust you, though. If we could just verify, that would be really, honestly, quite good.
Verify what? What information were you looking for from me?
I'm just wondering if we could take a look at the bodies.
But why would I have anything akin to bodies or body reports?
Do you not take the confession of the locals? Are you not in their trust and in their hearts and their faith? Do you not know them well enough to get another fellow man of the cloth into the police department? I figured it better than walking in saying the church demands to know. You know how fickle people can be.
Well, if you're from out of town, of course, my word might go a little further with the police, but they've been busy with all these reports themselves and working with the rangers about the animal attacks. I'm not sure me walking in will do very, very much.
I will not take much of their time. I'm very sorry, but I do implore you, if it is possible, to get us in. Perhaps it will be, perhaps word of your good work here can go to getting you some needed resources that I've read in the report that you could use down here in your parish.
He's going to sound a little put off when he continues speaking with you. If you would like, I can meet with you tomorrow morning. I will be preparing service for the weekend. We can speak again there.
Absolutely. And is the sheriff one of your part of your flock?
No, I'm afraid he's Baptist.
Ah, yes. I notice many people of different faiths in this area. That is fine. All one under God anyway. Thank you so much for your time. I will meet with you tomorrow.
Of course. And he's going to hang up quickly.
I'll hang up.
Well, that sounded like it went well.
Yes, the local father will meet with us, or me tomorrow. Perhaps we can get into the police department. He seemed a little hesitant to bother, but small towns and all, they don't necessarily love outsiders, but hopefully we can get something done. Maybe get to those bodies, but for now I think you're right. Probably the animals are our best chance.
I kind of nod my head, and I'll ask everyone around the table, where is everyone staying?
There's a motel something. I forget the number. 7, 8, 9. It's not important, but it's a motel down, just on the north side of town. I'm staying at.
I'll look to the younger boy, Chad. How about you, lad?
Is there... So, Modi just said he's staying at a motel. I'm also staying at a motel. Is this place even big enough to have 2 motels?
Oh, totally. But there will be a lot more of those, like, it's 4 rooms. Like, it's just 4 rooms in a row, like a little shack that the guy who actually owns it, is in. Not as many, like, full Motel 6s. Or at least not for, like, a little while in between each other. But there's lots of little, like, there's even inns and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I have permanent residence over at a motel on X Street, over on the outskirts.
Think of some real southern name and it'll probably exist.
Jackson Motel.
There you go.
And what about you, Father? You staying at the Chantry, or what is it? Where do you stay?
Oh, the Church of the Holy Cross here in Dover. I believe the Archdiocese sent message that I would be here. They should be able to find a room somewhere in the building. I believe there's a school there as well. So.
Right. Well, I think it'd be pretty wise to find up a meeting point, somewhere we can all gather for the night, if we are to investigate separately about this matter.
Well, I invite everyone in the morning if you'd like to meet with me and the father at the local parish and perhaps attend morning mass. That's something we could do.
I was thinking more of the hotel room by Sean here. More private, less ears, less eyes.
By the way, there wasn't a mass. He said he's just going to be preparing in the morning.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, I said perhaps morning mass. I didn't know if he did or didn't do morning mass every morning.
Nah.
Yeah. I'll keep my suggestion still. Like, meet at Sean's place.
That was
No,
too.
that works. Sean's place is better than mine. That should work good for me.
Sure. I can meet you there after I meet with
Sorry.
the father.
I got my own name confused with Chad's.
I was about to say.
Sorry. Let me. No. I guess you guys can come to my place. It's off of so-and-so street. It's hard to miss. It's just. I'm in room 4.
Well, that's dandy. So, Chad, you coming with me to the ranger station then? Well,
Yeah.
I'd rather not do any tracking before we know what we're dealing with, but I'm sure your tracking skills will be mighty fine.
They haven't failed me yet, so yeah, let's go check out this animal.
Yeah, and we'll do that in the morning. I will meet up like at a time at like a, I don't know, little family, like a trucker stop diner kind of thing.
There's a trucker stop right next to me. Just, yeah, come pick me up.
Right. Well, gentlemen, Anything else we need to discuss, or
Sean will hold up the shot glass that he has that's untouched in front of him to an auspicious beginning.
Chad will cheers.
Father will just hold his hand up. Here, here.
Okay, I just kind of stare blankly.
And he'll. Oh God. Yeah. So it'll be great. See you guys first thing in the morning.
Can I get a ride, brother?
Yeah, I got a rental.
Cool.
Father, can you do you need assistance, or can you get yourself back to where you're going?
I don't know. It's mighty dark outside. I'll be fine. Thank you very much.
Good. And with that, Sean will stand up and close the Bible in front of him and pick it up. I guess we have no further business, but again, thank you for coming. And he'll make his way towards the exit.
We'll see you gentlemen in the morning. And I'll get up and walk towards the exit too.
Yep.
Alright, so Sean is going back to his motel. Father Peter's going back to the church he's staying at. Brother and Chad, you're going to the sheriff's office now?
No, I was gonna drop Chad off of his motel, and then we're gonna meet in the morning.
Okay. Alright, sounds good.
And then I was just gonna sleep in my car.
Alright, and Sean, when you get back to your motel, give me another perception alertness.
Alertness.
Awareness.
It actually doesn't make a difference for my characters.
Okay, but that's what I meant.
4 successes.
Alright, as you enter the lobby, something kind of pulls your attention toward a rack of brochures, the kind of, you know, little bit touristy stuff, best fishing lakes and things like that. And without any other discerning reason, your eyes kind of go to a pamphlet that is churches of the county. And if you pick it up, it'll have a lot of information about churches in actual Dover as well as Stewart County, which is where the town is in. And as you flip through, you'll eventually get to a back page that mentions there are a few churches actually out in the land between the lakes. And that seems to kind of strike something with you.
Okay. How many is it? It's just a handful, like 2 or 3 out there. 5. Sean will, kind of like, little paranoid, look over his shoulder, grab like the 3 Italian restaurants in town, whatever, like the other couple pamphlets, and makes a handful of them, and walk back to his room where he's going to kind of memorize the addresses and the information that's standing out about these 5 churches.
If you do happen to look, the 3 Italian restaurants in the city are just pizza places.
He makes note of that because it could mean something.
Always ready. Alright, so that would wrap up the evening. I could use a quick little break myself, so we could take a short break. We'll do a little informal AMA. Anyone in particular? Alright, we'll do Father Peter and Chad. So, chat, go ahead, ask Father Peter and Chad, aka Koznark and Shard, questions about themselves. We're just gonna take a short little break.
Yeah, I'll go first. Shard's on the phone, so.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. Sure. You're fine. Ask me anything, or Father Peter, whoever. How's everyone's night going so far? I didn't notice. I forgot that we had Chad Water Lily, and just Father Lily seemed to work. I probably heard it somewhere, like in a TV show or something, and I just totally forgot until we're this far in. I was like, screw it, we're sticking with it. I mean, at least we're not both Water Lily, right? Hey, Articus, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight?
Alright, well,
We're not done.
oh, I have a quick question for Father Peter. So, you are blind. What do you do in your free time? Can't really watch movies as much.
Hope, I'm down. I'm down with petty and vapid questions. That's fine. And what does he do in his free time? Mostly reads the Bible. Likes to take walks outside in nature. Likes to listen to sounds, birds, and stuff like that. Or in cities, just like soundscapes in general. He really enjoys taking walks. Just kind of taking everything in as much as he can sense. So that's kind of his big things. He does quite enjoy board games too, wherever possible. He gets to play board games with people. He thinks that's super fun. I'm gonna say that Father Lily loves bats. He thinks they're awesome because they hear by echolocation. So he's totally down to hang out with some bats.
Alright, sure. Did you say you were actually good for some questions?
Yep, I'm good.
Alright, so if you have any more questions for Koznark, post them, but let's get some questions for Chard as Chad Waterlily.
Did your house just burn down, or?
No. If I get a phone call, I usually think it's pretty important, but it definitely wasn't. But I still needed to answer it. Just one of my friends needs cable. And the man you saw was one of my 5 roommates. Graham, I missed you I missed all of you guys. I was off for like, it felt like a year. What was it, like a week and a half or some shit like that? It's the longest
Too
week
long.
and a half.
Way too long.
But yeah, Graham, I definitely missed you. I didn't see any super dank memes while I was gone. It was bad.
That's rough.
I know. It was very rough. Does anyone have any questions about Chad? Even the players.
Well, I asked Father Peter, particularly because he was blind, but what does Chad do in his free time?
Well, this is like Chad's first time not investigate, like his whole adult life and most of his teen years was just spent on like investigating vampires. And now that he doesn't have a vampire like chasing him down all the time, he doesn't. This is like the first time he's had like free time. But he used to hunt to try and get away from the vampires as much as he could. Water lily, because it is so obnoxiously bad. It was. I was just like, water lily is such a horrible name. I'm gonna make it. He started to hunt because so when he was younger, up until just a couple of weeks ago, every 3 or 4 days there'd be a vampire that came into his room and fed on him, and just controlled him so he wasn't able to move. And he found out the only way he could really hide and get away is if he ran off into the woods, and he just used hunting as an excuse to be out there. Oh, you mean like hunting as in the game hunting? Vampires hunting him got him into hunting, and he met a man named Giorgio who said that he knew some of the more elder hunters, and that there was some people gathering down south in Tennessee, and that if I wanted to learn how to live the life, I should go and join them.
Where does... I guess you haven't heard many voices yet, but where do you think that power comes from? Or where does Chad think that power comes from?
Chad has no real idea where he doesn't. He's more. I almost want to say he's more science minded. Like, he doesn't really have much faith in religion in him. He doesn't. if anything, he would think it would be like some kind of mental illness, if anything. Like, oh shit, like, am I crazy? Is this all real? You know, kind of a thing. But if other people around him see it, maybe it's more assuring to him. But none of it was explained to him about like any of the powers or seeing any of this or anything like that.
Awesome. All right, so we can get back to the game now. It will be mornings. Anyone a late waker? Late bloomin' onion?
Up with the birds.
I'd probably be up as well. I would be parked in front of my in-laws' house, kind of watching over the place.
Chad's probably a later sleeper with a little bit of a hangover most nights.
I was actually going to be pretty similar for Sean as well, who would have stayed up late wondering over the mysteries of these 5 churches and maybe gotten a little carried away into something or another, and will not be up early and probably be awoken by one of them knocking at his door.
I'll probably be in the actually just in the church praying until the other father, whatever you gave, what's his name?
Father Abraham.
Until Father Abraham comes in. I'm probably really primed to enjoy his surprise at me already being in his church before he even gets there.
Alright, and brother, were you gonna go pick up Chad or just go by yourself?
I believe I was going to meet him at a truck stop diner, but I was by his hotel or motel.
Alright, so if Father Peter is up one of the earliest, and you arrived at the Church St. Thomas's waiting for Father Abraham to arrive, you said you'd just be like sitting in a pew?
Well, I slept at the church, so I've been there all night. But yeah, I get up very early, so I would be I would actually be like up at the front of the church, not in the pew, on my knees praying with my rosaries.
Alright, after another hour or so after you awoken, you've been, what is it? Praying the beads? I forget what it's called. Anyway.
It's so long since I was Catholic.
I only know of anal beads, so...
He's doing that. What?
It's the rosary. It's, whatever.
I forget what the verb is for it. But anyway, yeah, so after a little while, you'll hear a door that's like kind of ahead and to like your right opening. One of those like back doors that actually leads more to the back rooms and private offices of the people who work at the church. And you'll actually hear a small gasp, just kind of, hello.
Ah, Father, is that you? Please, Father Lily.
Father Lily, yes, and he'll sidle along the front of the the stage area and have a hand out ready to shake yours.
I'll hear him, but make light of just not put my hand back. I'll hear him moving around, but obviously I don't see his hands, so I'm just gonna keep. I'm gonna stand up and look forward, but not actually towards anything.
After he keeps walking towards you with his hand out, he'll see the wrap you have around your eyes, and maybe even notice if you have your cane nearby, and he'll just put his hand down. It's a pleasure to meet you. What can I do for you?
Very nice to meet you, Father Abraham. Put my hand out.
He'll grab yours, and you can even tell by the way he shakes it, there's a bit of awkwardness, because he was trying to shake your hand earlier and it didn't work.
Oh, don't worry, it happens all the time, Father Abraham. It's okay. My fault for dropping it on you so unannounced. Please forgive me.
It's quite all right. Yes, but you had some information you wanted.
Not information as much as I had said on the phone. I was really hoping you could arrange a meeting with someone in the local police, someone who could get us access, so that we might just take a look at these bodies. I know it is archaic and arcane, especially now in this new modern church, but some of us do still believe in the old ways, and of course, none more concentrated than in Rome. So we do like to look over things as weird as have been going on around here. like I had mentioned, and I really am so very sorry for dropping in on you at such short notice.
It's fine. And you'll hear him, like, rubbing his hands together. You can just tell, like, there's, like, dry skin, so you can actually hear it pretty well. And it sounds a little nervous. Well, the thing is, I mean, I know the sheriff. I know him by name. And, of course, I have a position here in town. But it may not be enough of my word to say that someone is actually from the Vatican. I don't mean to sound like distrusting, but how can I be sure? Anyone can go pick up a costume, if you understand what I mean.
Of course, Father, of course. That is absolutely understandable, and I really do applaud your wit in that circumstance. It is dark times that people would, trying to be a priest, but or impersonate a priest. But I assure you, you can call your bishop here, who I believe, and I'll rattle off whatever the name is, and you can actually you can get in hold of his cardinal, and I'll rattle that name off, and said he will get a hold of the archbishop, who and then can actually confirm who I am, and it is absolutely no bother at all. No one will think less of you for doing so. If anything, it's just due diligence, and I appreciate that. And as far as the introduction, as long as if you can make a good faith introduction on my behalf, I would be forever in your debt. I will try as hard as I can to repay that kindness, as well as if they're still hesitant, I'm pretty good with people, so maybe I can talk them the rest of the way.
No. And his voice is gonna sound even more a little nervous than it was earlier. It's alright. It's alright. You know what? I don't have time personally to go down to the office, the sheriff's office, with you. But let me go into my office real quick. I'll make a phone call ahead, say that you're coming by, that you're with us, or I'll just make the arrangements, and I'll just be back in a moment, and I'll let you know that he's there. Sometimes
while he's doing all this talking, I want to discern him.
Okay.
What is it? Zeal plus
Perception.
Yeah. 6 successes.
What are you trying to discern exactly?
One. Why the hell is there anything supernatural about him at all? So breathing normally or not breathing normally, giving off heat, fur that doesn't look, anything supernatural, obviously. And then, of course, now I can see him physically. And I can see the church surroundings and everything like that. I just want to make sure everything's in order. He seems weirdly nervous to me. I don't trust it.
Perfectly human. Nothing else weird in the church.
So nothing weird at all. Just super nervous?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Father Abraham.
Yes.
I understand that you have very pressing, and obviously your congregation is of the utmost priority, preparing your sermons. But I really do insist on a face-to-face meeting. As you can imagine, I don't do so well with first introductions. I'm not very good at telling apart who I'm supposed to be meeting with. And it does put one in a bit of a lower position to have to click around a police station asking randomly for some person they've never seen.
Father Abraham's attitude's going to change slightly from a little more nervous to a little more forward and a tiny bit of annoyance, and he's going to say, Father Lily, listen, what I said is that I can reach out to the sheriff, tell him that you're going to be coming by when you go
yes,
down
Father,
there.
I very well heard you. Thank you. I just would honestly prefer that you help me meet in person. It's just the way that my disability, I like to meet people. I do hope you could find time in your day. I won't take much of your time.
You hear him sigh in a way that sounds like he's trying to keep it quiet, that it's not too noticeable, but then he says, if you can give me a moment to gather some things, I'll meet you back here in a moment.
Can I
take you down.
can I charisma, empathy him? Maybe get him to feel like why it's important for me to meet people with someone introducing, and like why I don't want to just like randomly stumble around looking for someone I've never met.
Sure, we'll retroactively put it towards what you just said, because that would work together.
Okay. Three successes.
Right, yeah, so once you actually make the point of you saying, with my, disability, it's much more comfortable for me to be introduced to someone than try and meet them on my own. You can hear in that little sigh, there's some annoyance, but there's also a bit of a regret, some guilt in trying to push you off. And he says again, yes, of course. Let me gather some things. I'll meet you back here in a moment.
Thank you, Father. I'll be waiting here.
All right, and Albert, Brother Reese, will be going to meet Chad Waterlily at a nearby truck stop. I think you said.
Yeah, like a diner.
Yeah, it's like I would imagine the shitty motel I'm at is right next to like a truck stop kind of a thing.
Like the trailer diner kind of deal with like the waitress that everyone knows. Truckers go in to get a bite to eat and stuff.
I think she's picking the music. She's concentrating.
Sorry, I didn't get time enough to prep all the music for this, so I was like, what is this track?
And yeah, I would offer, once I meet Chad there, I'd be like, let's go get a bite to eat. And before we head out, I'd pay for it, obviously, because I think he's just some, punk, poor-ass kid. He had
That's
to walk,
good, because I was going to ask you to. Chad will gladly
Sugar
accept.
Daddy Albert. Yeah, so, I'll kind of, invite him to order whatever he wants, and order, a steak and cheese omelet or something with, some pancakes and coffee.
Chad will order more food than any man should be able to sit down and eat in one sitting, but he hasn't eaten in a while.
Yeah, no, I'll take note of that. Quite the appetite you got there.
Yeah, it's been a long road, and my motel doesn't have any food, and I have no money, so this is it.
Why don't you tell me about that long road, son? What brings you all the way out in Tennessee?
Man, where to start? Well, I met another hunter like you, and he solved the problem that I was having, and I saw whatever. I don't know. I don't know how to
call it God, son.
Some people would call it God, whatever you want to say, but
Makes it. It does. It clears the confusion.
Yeah, let's say that God, and but the man who helped me out told me that there would be others with my gift, and he told me to come to this city, and this is the motel I'm staying at was his, but he maybe you've heard of him. His name is Giorgio Rodriguez. I guess he was kind of a popular hunter.
Would I know that name, or should I do a check for that?
I'd say it would sound familiar, but in that weird way of wait, am I thinking of an actor or something like that? Chard, does he have an online handle?
Yeah, yes, he does. It's the Peruvian. That's his handle. And that's what I responded as. I don't have my own. I just went onto his computer and it was already logged in, and that's how I saw the messages.
Okay. But yeah, if brother, which I'll just say, if brother would asked a bit more, and you mentioned that online handle, brother would have recognized it as someone he sees on there a decent amount.
Oh yes, I know of Giorgio. How's he doing?
Not so good, man. He had a couple of bad run-ins, I guess, and he's still kind of sharp. He's still got the skills, but he's not all
Mentally
there.
sound, yeah. As what happens to most of us.
How did you get into this?
Well, long story short, I lost someone dear to me. And God, as we call him, bestowed this ironic gift upon me, and, well, here I am.
I'm sorry for your loss. I lost someone close to me as well.
Yeah, it's a cruel world out there. And I'll kind of take a look at how you're progressing with, like, the eats, see if you're, like, almost done. And then, like, if you're, like, almost close to finishing, I'll flag down the waitress and kind of tell her to bring the check, kind of deal.
Yeah, whatever you want, honey. She'll walk off and get you your check.
Mr. J. Yeah, so I'll just, like, I'll pull out my wallet, pay for the bill or the meal, and offer her like a 20, like, for like 30% tip sort of deal.
So she'll start gathering some of your plates and take the 20. Oh, big spender! And walk off.
Well, son, you ready to hit that ranger station, or you got anything else you need to do?
No, yeah, let's go, man. I'm excited. Yeah.
Well, try to control that excitement, son. Excitement gets you killed.
I'll try, but I don't think I'm going to die at the ranger station, you know.
Well, I've come across worse situations.
Cool.
Alright, so you guys will arrive at the sheriff's station. It's not a very big building. It's, it's the smaller town, but it's got sort of a
Wait,
open...
Who?
Weren't you guys going to the sheriff's station?
Char and I were going to go to the ranger.
Rangers, okay.
Yeah, and then I think Lily, Father Lily, he was going to the sheriff's station.
Sorry, you said station and I just went with...
Sorry,
so
I might have
you
cut
guys-
off.
Sorry. You guys head over to the Rangers, which is going to be actually near that south end of the map. Let me see if I got that still pulled up. So, if you have that map up again, I'll post it. There it is in chat. If you see right where the black dot is at the very bottom where it says Dover, the sheriff's station is just kind of like right above that, so it's not a very long drive. You guys would arrive there. It's like the more public ranger station. Obviously, there's some more spots throughout the park. And as you walk in, you'll see just a couple people at desks, maybe like a secretary near the front.
Okay, I would definitely lead the way, kind of, again, making sure that I duck underneath the door because of my tall stature, and kind of hovering over the front counter. I'd like introduce my... Hi, is the ranger here?
There's a young woman who is like looking down, filling out some paperwork. She's wearing the typical kind of green ranger outfit, and she looks up and stops like at your chest, expecting someone to be standing there and go, "Oh, sorry, no, the Ranger Matthew isn't in at the moment. He's out on a call. What can I do for you?" And she'll notice Chad as well. What can I do for you, gentlemen?
This here's my student. I'm from California. I'm a professor at UC Berkeley. I've heard stories about wild animal attacks that you guys haven't been able to identify, and, well, I thought this was a chance to help me write my thesis.
Yeah, your thesis, that must be pretty interesting. Give me 1 second. She'll, like, slide back in her rolling chair and get up and head into a back room. After a few moments, there's a young man that comes out. He's similarly in sort of the actual ranger outfit, and he reaches out a hand to Brother to shake his John Malcolmson. What can I do for you here?
Yeah, I'll kind of like wrap my hand around his with my giant claw of a hand, and like I just wanted to take a look at those wildlife critters you brought in a couple, was it days or weeks?
It was like over the last week, so like the earliest one would have been at most 10 days ago, but like maybe a couple days ago there'd been more.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to take one other look at those animal carcasses you brought in. One of the elk that I've been hearing stories about on the news.
We usually don't give tours. And
Sorry,
then,
I forgot to introduce myself. My name's Albert Reese. I'm a UC Berkeley professor of microbiology. I'd like to see if this is thesis worthy for my paper I'm trying to write.
huh? And he's gonna be a little bit hesitant, but looking you up and down, he's gonna feel a little bit, maybe slight intimidation on his face, and go, um, of course. I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt. They're just in the locker in the back.
Yeah, like right when I hear the locker in the back, like if he's still talking, I'll cut him off and be like, "Great, thank you. I'll just walk myself over there.
Oh,
Come along, Chad."
I'll take you there myself. And he'll try to like, if you try to get around him, he'll try to like run a little faster to catch up with you and
Yeah.
head towards the door that he came out of. He'll lead you through a couple hallways that'll go towards the back, and it looks like it is just a door that leads into a kind of small autopsy room, but obviously looks more set up for a vet's office. And there's a big freezer door in the back.
Can you bring out one of the specimen? Put it on the table here, Ranger Rick.
Is John, but yeah, sure. And he'll go to the freezer door and pop it open and go inside, and he'll start wheeling out a large slab that has, you can tell just from the arms hanging like straight off the sides, an elk. Doesn't look like it's too big. You could probably, Chad would probably be able to tell immediately, even with the tarp that's over it, that it's probably female or a young male.
Great. And do you have gloves, medical supplies, flashlights, all that we could use?
He's gonna start looking a little nervous, like this was a bad idea in the first place, and he might get in trouble with his superiors. Yeah. And I'll...
Listen, Ranger, I'll be sure to mention you by name in my my novel, my thesis that I'm going to write. There won't be any trouble. You have my word on that.
There's a slight blush in his cheek, and goes, sure, Professor Reese, I guess?
That'll do nicely, thank you. If you can leave the room for my student and I to inspect the body.
Oh, Professor, I'm sure I should really stay.
I insist. How about you go get us some coffee? We'll only be a minute.
Alright, and he actually like stops trying to open the door he was and just starts leaving, and then halfway awkwardly points behind him. There's gloves in there, and he kind of scurries out of the room looking like he really isn't sure what he should be doing.
Right. I'll go over towards like the gloves and try to find the largest gloves that they have. Probably not covering my entire hand, but enough to where I won't get like any diseases or like, you know, stuff like that. And I'll kind of turn to Chad and be like, "You ever dealt with corpses before?"
Chad laughs and just like in a very much too excited fashion, like rips off his sweatshirt and no gloves, just like starts handling the animal. Like he's cleaned plenty of animals like this before. Like this is half of the fun of hunting for him.
Yeah, I'll kind of like again put my hand on his shoulder, kind of pull him back, like, "Whoa there, Tiger. We gotta take this slow. We need to know what exactly killed this animal.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't want to tamper any evidence or destroy anything that might help us."
I don't think we're gonna. I'm just gonna reach in and make sure the lungs, the kidney, the heart, all that good stuff is still in there. It's not gonna hurt anything. You okay?
I'll sit and watch by.
Alright, in the meantime, it's about the same time. Sean, you've woken up a little extra tired because you got busy the night before with what you were looking into. What was your next move?
So the thing that's kind of bothering me and sitting on my mind is obviously the messengers or the watchers had some message in mind with these 5 churches that I guess the first thing I do is go and reinsert the Wi-Fi card into my laptop because, got to be paranoid and do not leave your laptop able to ever be accessed without your permission. And start just poking around into the churches, who are the pastors at these 5 places, any events, notable newspaper clippings or anything that have to do with these 5, and just see if there's anything that stands out.
Sure thing. I have my list on my other computer, but I remember most of them. In particular, out of the 5, there is Hickory Grove Church, Blue Springs Church, Tharp Church, and 2 others. I'm slightly blanking on their names. But
What was the third one?
Hickory Grove, Blue Springs, and Tharp. So
Tharp.
Tharpe. Actual churches. I didn't make them up.
I think you're messing up. I'm pretty sure you're fucking with me on that third one.
I'll pull it up on Google and show you. Anyway, so with the exception of Hickory Grove and Blue Springs, the other 3 are actually essentially abandoned. If you try to Google them, you're gonna have trouble even finding a picture of them. You can find like a location GPS with Google Maps, but otherwise there's no real good pictures of them. There's like pictures that come up, but you're not even sure if it's that church or another because the name pulls up like 5 old looking churches. So it throws you a little bit off. But overall, you've got a sense that a lot of these are more just like old monuments that have been left alone, and maybe like some caretaker or the rangers check on them every now and then. Definitely some of the pictures you can find that you think are related to these churches, the 2 that aren't active, are like small shacks, like probably a congregation of 20-30 people.
And for the abandoned ones, there's nothing like, this church is certifiably haunted, or like popular place for the teenagers to go snuff paint and smoke weed or whatever it is teenagers do these days.
Nope, and even the 2 active ones, Hickory Grove and Blue Springs, it's actually, there's really like little to no information about them. There's like a phone number, an address, and like 1 nicer picture available, and that's it. So you could probably assume it might be like just locals who have grown up in the area, know to go to these places, and like children of parents who went there, sort of thing. But the other 3 places don't have any of those weird, totally haunted or reports of children breaking in, spray painting, swastikas.
Okay. And which one of these locations is closest to the animal killings?
They're actually all below the Tennessee border. So if we go back to the photo again.
Which happens to still be clickable on chat.
Yeah. So again, that black line kind of gives you an idea of about where like the border is. It's actually about another quarter down is the Tennessee border. In the middle, it says the Elk and Bison Prairie. Down where there's some of those red dots, campgrounds and stuff, that's actually where all the churches are. They're much closer to Dover than further into the parks.
So right there, just kind of along the southern.
Mm-hmm. The 2 active ones and Tharp, which is one of the abandoned ones, are off to the east, and then the other 2 abandoned ones are off to the west.
Well, seeing as how, because if I'm remembering correctly, the animal attacks and everything were on the more eastern located.
They were farther north in the prairie, where that X is, basically, where the lines intersect.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I completely misremembered
Okay.
where it was. I thought it was like the home place was kind of where this was going on.
Yeah.
So it's all relatively south, out of the way. Okay. Did I get a time on when the four of you were supposed to be showing, or the three of them were supposed to be showing up?
I think you guys had agreed to meet the next day, but since it's still early morning, they had just made their initial trek to, Father Peter wanted to go see the, sheriff's office, and Brother and Chad were going to go to the ranger's office. Your other lines of information that you had were the mayor, and there's one other thing you'd heard about since you got into town is an old woman known as Alma is her real name, or her real first name, but she's often called the matron. She has a bit of a mixed reputation in town as some of the more fundamentalist Christians don't trust her, don't like her, think she might be a pagan, but other people have like taken their kids to her and believe that she can heal them. So a lot of people who like her call her the matron.
And Alma, how far away is she from me? Is it like a maybe 30-minute walk?
If you were walking, probably more of an hour.
Okay.
Town.
If it's still early enough, I will probably get up and drive over to Alma's and see if she's at home at the moment.
Sure. So you take a trip to Alma's. It's a small little house, and it's got a little side extension that is set up with a sign that she does flower arrangements. It's a bit of a botany, a flower shop, off the side of her house.
So, I mean, I'm assuming I'm coming during store hours of some kind.
Mm-hmm, yeah, by the time you got, if you woke up 9 since you slept in a little bit, and it took you almost an hour, or a little less if you were driving, to get over there, she would definitely have already been, you can see her inside the shop, watering flowers.
I'll go ahead and walk on in and kind of awkwardly look around the shop for a minute before approaching her, if she doesn't, I guess, greet me immediately, but...
If she'll see you come in, and she'll just give you a very friendly nod and say, "Let me know if you need anything."
He'll busy himself for a minute before, pulling his flannel jacket a little bit closer and walking up to her, breathing deeply. I'm sorry, Miss Alma. They call you the matron, right?
She gives a very soft giggle.
I'm sorry if that. I don't mean to offend. But...
Not at all. It's one of the nicer names I've been called over time.
I'm sorry if people. Anyways, listen. I've been having some difficulties recently, and I was just. It's probably just rumors, and I really do not want to offend you by assuming any of this is true, but I heard that if I'm looking for a little bit something, just some guidance or assistance, that, you're the woman to ask, that, you have a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of knowledge, and you might be able to offer me something that I can't quite get anywhere else.
She gives you a very soft-lipped but wide smile, and you see the actual crinkles up her eyes. It actually calms you down a little bit. Of course, dear. Please calm down. Can I get you a drink, water, tea, or anything?
I would love some iced tea, or hot. I don't want to assume, but please.
She's going to try to just gently put a hand over your forearm by your elbow and lead you through a nearby door that walks into more of a parlor area of her home proper. And she points at a little rocking chair that's got a obviously hand crocheted kind of pillow on the bottom. Says, "Please have a seat. I'll get you something to drink."
Thank you, ma'am. And he'll make himself comfortable in the chair.
So after a few moments, she'll come back and hand you a teacup that's, perfect china with little, blue, flowers around it. And it's just got, a nice brown-looking tea liquid inside. And just sets it down next to you. Now, what seems to be the problem?
So I'm not sure exactly what you're used to dealing with. I'm a little bit desperate at this point, and just he'll pause and grab the tea, smelling it gently, almost more of just enjoying the aroma than, but while doing that subtle, is there smelling anything off about it before taking it on a quick drink of it, setting it down, and just I swear it was, oh yeah. I've started hearing things, ma'am, and it just voices inside of my head, and it's just things here and there. You starting to notice things and hear things, and I don't know whether the Lord is trying to speak to me, or Satan is, or I don't know, Odin, or I don't know, whoever talks to people these days. I'm not sure, but I'm hearing things, and it's just none of them trying to tell me to do anything wrong or anything bad, but just they're pointing things out. Just like I'm walking by a tree and I notice this tree. It's shining above the others, or just look at this, pick up this, don't go here, and it's just I've been noticing it more and more recently. And I was just so it just. What do you think? Have you seen this before? I was just looking for something.
She's gonna sit down across from you. It's not like another chair. It's more like just a little sitting stool. But she sits down and kind of just folds her arms across her knee and says, "Some of us can become more attuned to things in the world that aren't as what your normal senses might always see. Some of us hear things, see things, even just feel things that are different. Of course, some of these can be medical, but it doesn't sound like that's the case with you."
So is it just like I'm growing attuned, or is something talking to me? Don't tell me Satan's talking to me.
Well, I certainly hope not. But
He hasn't told me to do anything bad yet, so I don't think so.
Well, then that's good. That's the first part. If there's nothing bad in these messages, then they can't necessarily be of too much worry. What have you been seeing? You see lights around trees. You mentioned anything more direct?
I don't know yet. Like I'll be walking back to my place, after a drink or two, and it's just I get a feeling don't walk down this alleyway, or just it's so far been relatively vague. But sometimes I'll be sitting there alone reading a book or something, and I could have sworn I hear a young girl's voice call my name, something like that, and you get that feeling that runs up your spine, and it's unsettling, and just. I listen. To be honest, it's just I'm not sure if you felt it, but there's a chill in the air, just cold in my bones that can't go away. I'll take a bath, a long bath, very warm bath, and it's not going away.
You're new to town, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a wanderer. It's hard to stay in one spot at a time.
Well, what brought you this direction?
I guess they did. The voices. I'm not sure, but I just ended up here. My feet took me here.
Well, sometimes that is the best way to travel. She's gonna pat you on the knee and lean back. Well, dear, I'm not sure exactly what I can offer you, other than an ear to listen. At this point, I think you might just be best following your feet. They don't seem to be listening to any of Satan's messages, as you said, so maybe let them keep you traveling for right now.
That's the thing. It's just that they're not keeping me traveling. I feel compelled to stay, but
Well, I didn't
like I
mean
s-
out of the area.
okay, but I'm not sure if you felt it, but this town seems weird.
Yes, there's something definitely in the air. I've never been the one to, I'm not the adventuring type, if that makes sense. I'm the one that listens and can help others out, help calm their spirits. That's best I can do. But tell me, what was the last message you heard or saw or felt?
The last message I felt was just stay out of the woods. Just don't go. And I don't know. I've been hearing things from people at a bar. They're talking about, I don't know, something happening to the deer down in the park, and I feel a sickness in my stomach thinking about it.
Of course. Nothing that told you of a direction, though.
I'm sorry, not yet, man. Don't know.
Well, that is my advice. And she's gonna pat your knee another time. Just keep an ear out, an eye out, any other, little digit out for signs that tell you which way to go.
I'll keep an ear to the ground, if you will. Just, is this normal? I don't mean to imply, but have you seen something like this before? It would be nice to know that I'm not the only one who feels this.
Do you know the idea of tectonic plates?
Several of them, and it's Pangea, but not Pangea, right?
Well, the way they move underneath all of us and make things shift, correct?
Yeah, it's like a bowl or something floating in water. It's just magma.
Or perhaps
The plates.
even the atmosphere, the clouds might be even a better understanding. But these things can travel. This area might be quiet for a long time, and then something small might pass by, a little cloud in the air, or a storm might pass through.
Like Hawaii, it was a series of islands that's all kind of moving over the same hotspot in the mantle. That we get Honolulu and then other islands that, as the plate moves, various islands are formed.
Yes, so as I was saying, there's movement to these things. There's not always one particular town in any given place in the world that will always be troubled. Perhaps there are some, but some can be quiet for a long time, and some can have their volcanic eruption or their monsoon.
Do you feel like something's building? Like something might erupt soon?
I don't know how strong this one is, but there's definitely something moving through the area at least. If it's here to stay for a time, or if it's trying to make more of a residency, is yet to be seen.
How long have you been able to feel this stuff? Is this recent, or just have you gone your entire life like this?
She gives a very, just genuine kind of chuckle. Probably since I was a young girl. It's always been a little, I've always been the strange one, or the one who can, tell my friend's upset before she even gives me a phone call.
I kind of get a mixed feeling around town, whether you're respected or thought of as a loon. Like, do they generally here appreciate your ability, gift? I'm not sure how you see it.
She gives a soft shrug. She's got, a little, shawl around her shoulders and just, wiggles with her shoulders, and she, pulls it over her. It, depends on the person.
Sure. I'm glad you figured out how to do something productive with it. I mean, I get the impression that some do legitimately come to you and respect the gift you and the wisdom you have.
As I said, some do, others don't. I don't let it bother me too much as long as they're not trying to burn down my house and claim I'm a witch.
Well, guess we should give thanks that your house still stands then.
I do every day.
Right. I'm sorry. I appreciate your advice and just. Do I owe you? What do I owe you for your time?
You don't owe me anything for your time. I was just opening up shop. I love speaking with my customers, but I don't expect you to buy anything.
We're still in America, right?
Yes, but my house is paid for. This is basically a hobby that makes me a few extra dollars.
Okay, just making sure. No, I appreciate your time. I'll stop in again. I've enjoyed this.
Of course. Dear, what was your name again?
It's is that important?
Not at all.
I'm sorry, it's hard for me. I'm running from things. Maybe next time.
Well, let's call you the Traveler. So I'll see you soon.
Thank you. He'll hold out his hand kind of awkwardly.
She'll give you a soft handshake. It's like her skin is not like too leathery, but it's that kind of soft old lady handshake. Definitely moisturizes.
He'll smile and see himself out.
All right. Back to Brother and Chad with a big old slab of meat in front of him.
Chad's elbow deep in that book.
All right. So as you got a hold of the elk after Ranger John had left the room, you saw that it probably had a basic autopsy, like quick check. The sternum had been split down and just kind of stapled back shut so nothing came sliding out. So you would easily be able to just open that back up and go searching.
Yep. What do I find?
For fun of it, give me perception survival. All right, 3 successes. Yeah, so you start digging around, and of course you would be able to see visually outside of the carcass. This is one of the ones that had sort of those really deep claw marks in it, that went kind of across where the ribcage was, more up towards the back legs. And there's even a bit of a strange burn mark across the side of the face, the one that's laying more on the slab. And as you start digging around, you do notice 1 or 2 organs are missing near where the claw marks had gone in, but you saw on a chart that was with the table that those had been removed due to how damaged they were. Otherwise, the organs all seem to be there.
All right. With the claw marks, would I recognize it either with bear or anything like that?
It looks like talons, but huge. Taking eagle's talons or any long hooked shape kind of claw and multiply it by at least 3 or 4.
And there's no peck marks from if it's talons, it's from a bird. Do I notice any beak marks or anything like that?
You'll notice around where the claw marks are, and maybe eyes and mouth, what looks like probably just scavengers that started to go at it before the rangers found it. But it doesn't, you're not sure if it's related or just some ravens and mice going at the elk.
Say that one more time.
So around the claw marks and the eyes and mouth, it looks like typical raven, crow, mice bite marks. So I'd say you'd feel relatively confident they're not related. They were just whatever scavengers found it before the sheriff did or the rangers did.
Right. I'll go over to the sink and start washing up. Well, whatever attacked it wasn't trying to eat whatever is inside, unless it was spooked, if it was bumped. So there's not that. Whatever is killing this is doing it for fun. There's a burn mark, which is pretty obvious on its face, but what it looks like talons like carried it, maybe clawed it up, but it didn't dig in deeper, which is that's the weird part.
You muted.
Is he talking to us?
I think he was, but I didn't hear him.
Rev?
Yeah, we're still not hearing you, buddy.
Let's make sure it's not on my end with all my technical difficulties.
No, I don't see him lighting up. I see it like flash for a second. Yep, it keeps on going in and out real quick.
Yep.
The new Kozark method is working great. No technical difficulties on this end.
We'll just shame
Hello?
Revolver.
Oh,
There he
there you
goes.
Hey,
That was weird. I just had to like exit the call.
that's weird.
Yeah, I was just gonna give it like a quick run over. Just like kind of flip over the body, maybe inspect the burn mark or the talons. Maybe I can identify maybe what it is, like through a supernatural mean.
Sure. Let me check your sheet.
Is that a thing? Can we do that?
I have one in a cult.
Yeah, and Modi have a little more experience in Hunter than I do. Does Discern work for, like, checking if something was caused by supernatural, or only telling if something is supernatural?
Caused if it was recent.
Yeah, a little bit of
Tested more.
both. It's basically the best way to think about it would be very similar to the first rank of the Auspex, where just all of your senses are hyper awakened. So like you would notice very weird like cuts in the meat or something, and you're just like, that's a little off, or just that guy's not breathing. It's just super apparent to you.
Okay. Alright, then, brother, go ahead and use Discern if you want.
Okay. Well, my phrase for discern is, well, Chad, the devil, or God sees the devil in us all, and then I'll use discern because that's my trigger.
Okay. So looking over the claw marks, they still look weird, but otherwise they still appear like they were physical. Like something actually made those deep drags through the meat. But the burn mark has like a weird aura shimmer around it that is definitely sending off that it wasn't kids with, firecrackers or like any kind of blowtorch or anything. Something is very off about that.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of like focus on that burn mark and be like, Chad, you wanna watch the door real quick?
Sure. And Chad will put his sweatshirt back on and go watch the door.
And I'm gonna like pull out a knife from like my side and like carve into the burn mark to see if there's anything inside. And there's like a cigarette still hanging out from my mouth.
Do I see him stabbing this deer in the face?
If you're not looking away, yeah. It's a small room.
I thought we weren't. You just told me that we weren't trying to mess with evidence.
Well, there's plenty more carcasses. I just didn't want to keep you on your toes.
Chad rolls his eyes and goes back to looking at the door.
Alright, so you cut into where the burn mark is, and you don't see anything underneath, so it definitely wasn't like internal coming out. It was a surface burn. But exactly wherever there is burned meat, that little weird aura persists.
I'll get like a bag and put the burned meat in the bag. I'll just like I'll just like cut it out, I guess.
Okay, yeah, so you go ahead and give that a little slice, and you find a, materials bag nearby and put that in. Otherwise, the elk is just laying there.
All right, and yeah, I know he did a pretty good job, but I'll just do like investigation perception or like
Yeah, sure.
investigation wits or something.
Yeah, wits is more like choosing an action or talking
Gotcha.
to someone if you want to observe something in the investigation.
Okay. Yeah, I got it too. So essentially the same.
Alright, looking it over, the only other things you'll notice that you hadn't picked up already were the deer was definitely, or the elk was definitely, in terror when it died. All of this happened to it. It does seem like while the cut was deep and went into a couple vital organs, it does seem like it died almost prematurely. I mean, elk are pretty hardy. It should have maybe been able to, like, run away and died more quietly out in the woods. It seems like it died from these wounds somewhat immediately.
All right. I'll just put the tarp or whatever that was covering the body over the elk again, and I'll clean up as well. And then, well, Chad, I think that's all we're gonna get from this body.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I don't. Tracking is one thing, but tracking a bird, that's not. It's not really.
Well, maybe we could see what happened to the other ranger that went out. See if he's coming back soon.
That's true. All right, let's go.
Yeah, and if like the other ranger's coming in with coffee, I'm like, nope, don't need coffee. I'm good.
Chad will take that coffee.
Alright, so, John, the ranger, still looks a little bit thrown off, but, he gives it to Chad. Are you done? Did you need me to help with anything?
Nah, we're done here. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Of course. He's gonna, like, sidle around you guys, open the door. Did you, like, actually fully put it away, or just put the tarp over it?
I just put the tarp over it.
Okay. So he'll go in, you'll hear the door close, and that's all you hear right away.
Okay. And then I guess we'll make our way to the front desk and ask the receptionist, is the other ranger, the one in charge here, coming back soon, or where'd he head off to?
Oh, yeah, Chief, Finnegan, he'll be back, and she's gonna, like, look over at a clock. Well, he'll definitely be back for lunch, if not any sooner, so that'll be, noon.
What time is it right now?
For you guys, it's probably 9:30. Actually, no, because Chad was, up a bit later, and you guys had breakfast, so it's probably closer to, almost 11.
All right. Yeah, I'll kind of look to Chad and like, well, you a smoker?
We talking cigarettes?
Yes, son.
No.
Well, you gotta keep yourself occupied until the ranger gets back.
Yeah, you want to go hang out in your rental and smoke cigarettes?
I'll kind of like lead out and just kind of lean against the wall of the ranger station. Just kind of like smoke. Just like keep smoking.
You can hear a little bit. Are you outside now?
Yeah.
All right, you can hear a little bit of commotion from inside, and there'll be windows nearby. If you look in, you'll see Ranger John coming out of the back room, and sounds like he's kind of yelling about something and pointing.
Perception, like to try to hear what he's saying.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll do the
perception
same.
awareness, just the standard.
God damn, Chad.
For sure, man.
All right. It's a little muffled because you're outside, but they've just got kind of like basic glass door front. You hear something that sounds like, "Where did they go? They did something to the carcass. I don't understand." And you'll see him like pointing and like talking to the girl who is at reception.
Well,
Chad turns and runs. He just runs straight to the car. He knows. He knows.
I'll just wait outside.
Alright, we'll check back with you in a moment. Let's check in with Father Lily, who's going to be going to the sheriff's office with Father Abraham. Yeah, we could do a little break.
Anytime.
Alright, so that'll be Modianzas as Sean and Revolver C as Albert Brother Reese. So, go ahead and ask Modianzas questions about himself as a player or his character. And you can post them for Revolver C as Albert Brother Reese as well. We'll just do it loosey-goosey.
Ask me your questions, bastards.
Lucy is my favorite.
What about the Goosey, though?
Yeah, it's just extra.
I'm all right on Goosey. So how are you wonderful people doing tonight? Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah.
So I got one for a Revolver. For Brother Albert, as a character flaw of his, what is potentially his biggest character flaw that could bring about his own weakness or downfall?
Probably his stubbornness and probably his like selflessness as well. Because being a defender, he's pretty much the never leave a guy behind kind of guy, which could lead him into a lot of trouble down the line.
So we're gonna have this epic standoff between you and the martyr, where you're like, "I won't leave you, Brody," and he's like, "No, let me do it, Jim. I want to die. I gotta die for the cause." And you're like, "No, you're not leaving you."
Pretty much.
That's why we're already together. It's starting to happen.
We do have a defender and a martyr. How fun.
Yeah, and there's that, and then like he has a personal family. Like he has a child that no one really knows about, and she's living with his in-laws. So there's that as well. So if anyone like found out about it, he would be like kind of very overprotective of her.
You got a question for Spartacus.
What does he feel about this group? Who is his favorite and unfavorite? I haven't really interacted with too many. Like he's pretty neutral with Sean and Father Lily. Probably his favorite would be Chad, just because of the interaction alone, and he kind of sees like this young hunter that wants to do big things, and Albert's an older gentleman, so he's been around the block or two. Want to make sure he has his bearings, in front of him. He doesn't get caught off guard or anything like that.
Is Brother Albert dry, or just no fun?
No, he has dry humor. Yeah.
I meant, does he drink? He was
He's
at a
older.
bar, not drinking.
Oh, no, he used to be an alcoholic, so he doesn't drink anymore, but he does partake in the cigarette.
I mean, you have something to satisfy the oral fixation.
Yeah, pretty much. No, not like a child, like before he became a hunter. He had a daughter.
Oh, what's your daughter's name?
His daughter is named Clarissa.
Mine's Isabel. See? Something we can bond about.
We just didn't really have time to talk because we're kind of like, all right, let's get shit done kind of thing before people start dying. There's time for bonding. I'm wondering if I'm gonna get arrested for carving out the flesh of an elk, but I mean, that's small details, right?
I'm surprised you're just kind of chilled there.
I've been through worse.
I mean, can they even really prove it? You're just like, no, it's totally the way I found it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, if they took photos, they definitely could kind of prove that.
Plus, he's got it on him in a bag.
Yeah, I was gonna say he has the evidence.
That
on
might
him.
give him away.
Yeah, it's
This
true.
bag of burnt elk flesh from the face, that doesn't belong to our elk, does it? No, sir. Totally different elk.
It's
Listen,
venison. I'm going to eat it later.
I brought this from home.
I'm
This is
huge
lunch.
size,
That's
okay?
why it's in a bag.
I'm huge size. I'll just like tower over this pep squeak and like scare him off.
I don't know, man. He's seen some shit.
Right? It's like the Compton of Forester Camp.
I've been through there. It's a creepy ass place at night.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
no. I was using this area because it's the only place I've really been in the South and spent a lot of time. And we drove through the land between the lakes a couple different times. In the day it was fine, and at the night it's fucking creepy.
You're pretty sure the Hill Witch is gonna just take your car and just like whoop off the road any minute.
The
Yeah,
Hill
probably.
Witch.
It's that ding 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 ding. Like it's my uncle used to joke in that area. He said he would say, he'd be like, listen here, fuck with me one more time and I'll kill you, and trust me, they'll never find the body. That kind of area.
Hell witch. Alright, so we have a little break. We can get back to the game. Father Lily is being driven to the sheriff office by Father Abraham.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Modi, but I get 10 minutes per success for my vision to stick up. I believe
I
so.
don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, yeah. So, well, then, yeah, the book says 10 minutes
Yes.
per success, so I have 60 minutes. So I can use it, just so you know ahead of time. I'm actually perfectly able to see everything around me right now. But I'm still, playing blind.
So Father Abraham, unless you speak to him, is going to drive pretty much in quiet. Might, give you a friendly small talk segment here or there, just, ask a bit more where you're from, but isn't going to be too engaging.
That's fine. Quiet contemplation is Father Lily's default state.
So you guys arrive at the station, and he, does his best to help you out without being too forward. And then tells you that you'll be walking into the office, and you hear all the typical noises, paper rustling, phones going off, people talking. You even hear a couple rowdy people from the drunk cell down the hall, just kind of and eventually he's going to lead you up to the receptionist desk, speak, formally with a young man that's there, and explain that he's here to meet with Sheriff Ryan. The young receptionist is gonna, get up after a little bit, and you're gonna hear his footsteps walk away. Still, Father Abraham's gonna be a little quiet. I'm gonna say you can even feel the slightly annoyed energy off of him.
I can see, remember, I have 60
Okay,
minutes
okay.
of full perfect sight.
Okay,
Like,
but,
dead 20/20, perfect lit, shadows don't matter.
so you can feel and see kind of the nervous, annoyed energy in Father Abraham's shoulders. And after,
Can I make?
Huh?
Can I roll empathy, charisma, or something to figure out why the hell is he so angry or so nervous? It's a small town church. It's not.
Maybe he's just a dick.
Do I need to roll to? Or are you just gonna give me that?
Go ahead and roll if you want to pick up more about him.
Can't just be a dick to blind people. What the hell?
There are dicks in the world. There are massive dicks in the world.
Oh, what do you want me to roll?
Perception empathy.
5 successes.
All right, just reading his body language and maybe a little extra from your, discerning abilities as a hunter, you pick up that he doesn't feel very comfortable here, and he is just really, just doesn't want to be doing this. He has, that nervous energy, he has other things he needs to get to. He's just trying to do what is right, quote unquote, but doesn't really have much care. He just wants to get this over with.
As we're kind of sitting there waiting quietly, I'll just kind of look over towards where I know he was standing before, and just kind of look at him and be thank God that you came along to help me, Father. I appreciate it so much. God must have much in plan for you.
Oh, and you'll see his shoulders slump a little bit of guilt cross his face. Oh, yes, of course. Happy to help. And a couple minutes later, the young secretary will come out with Sheriff Ryan. He's decent build, not too old, but seems to have an overly lined face for his age. Maybe smoking and drinking have affected him a bit. But otherwise, he's got a somewhat cheery demeanor. Also has a little nervous energy, he's just got so much going on, but he decided to come out and see what was going on. He puts his hand out. Father Abraham, good to see you again. And you have someone here to meet me? And Father Abraham will introduce you.
Thank you, Father. I'm Father Peter Lilly, and I'll hold my hand out.
So Sheriff Ryan will go ahead and shake your hand too. It's a pleasure to meet you. What can I do for you?
Thank you so much. If it's a little busy around here, and I do rely quite a bit on hearing to understand people. Do you think we could talk office if that's agreeable?
Yes. I have a few minutes to spare. Come back this way, and you'll see him pause, looking like he's not sure if he should take your arm to help you or not.
I'll listen, hearing pause. No, I can follow you. I should be able to hear.
Good. And he'll both him and Father Abraham will look a little awkwardly to each other, but Abraham will speak up. Well, Father Lilly, if you need anything else, you have my number. Please give me a call. I'm going to get back to the church.
Thank you so much, Father Abraham, for your charity. May God be with you.
Of course. There's another slight bit of guilt that crosses his face for a moment before he scurries out.
And also with you is the proper response.
Isn't it just and you now?
Well, probably yeah for him. I'm old school.
Okay.
Going back. Roman Catholic. None of this light shit. None of this low-fat mayonnaise. We don't do that.
Might be.
Alright, so you follow the sheriff back into his office. Since you can see, you're gonna tell that it's somewhere between messy and organized. There's a lot of papers and folders and things strewn across his desk, but otherwise, his shelves look pretty well organized. If you try to catch a glimpse of what's on the papers, is you're gonna actually notice some things. You're gonna notice some larger print about Land Between the Lakes National Park, stationery, things like that.
I'm gonna feel about for chairs.
What was that?
I'm gonna feel about for a chair. I guess there's chairs in front of his desk. Put my hand on one and go, Sheriff, shall we sit?
Yes, of course. And he'll point, and then his hand will go. Why did I do that? And he'll go and sit at his chair behind the desk.
I'll hear him sit, and I'll sit after him. Thank you so much. I know how busy of a man you are. I really do appreciate taking the time with me. I will try to take as little of your time as possible.
Of course. I am still a, servant of the public. So how can I help you, Father Lilly?
Sheriff, if I may be forward, is that okay?
Please.
I hear you're a God-fearing man, although maybe not of my particular faith.
Father Abraham's been talking your ear off, I guess.
So, but you did mention, is it not true that you're a God-fearing man?
I am.
And yes, Father Abraham was a little open. He said of the Baptist persuasion, if I'm correct.
Yes, my family was and theirs before them, so.
Oh yes, the South. I love it. The variety is truly stunning. All the different ways to praise God. This may sound crazy, Sheriff, but as a man of God, I trust you believe that the devil is among us here on Earth, and he does his evil ways.
I suppose so.
Can I, can I sense how religious he is or isn't? Like, when I said God, is he, like, actually Baptist, or is he, like, oh yeah, I'm a Baptist, whatever kind of guy? See, actually, when you respond, are you a God-fearing man? Is it one of those like, oh yeah, I'm a Baptist, or is it like, yes, I am a God-fearing person?
You've had your empathy up and getting good successes on it, so I'll say that you get from him he is definitely an every Sunday and has probably actually like been in a bad situation and really believed like God would get him out of it, but otherwise isn't the sort that's very comfortable talking about it a lot.
Does he respond to me saying that the devil works his ways among us?
Yeah, I did. I use it, I suppose.
Oh yeah, sorry. Well, as strange as it may seem, you seem to have something going on here in your town here, Sheriff. Something that, while may seem small, does reek of the devil. As you may imagine, the church is interested in finding such things and investigating them. I believe that comes to some of the people you may have in your morgue here.
Could you expand a bit further?
Yes, the people, the missing people, the injured, the animals. Something satanic or devilish seems to be going around here. While I understand absolutely keeping the peace is your job and not mine, and I trust fully in your ability to do that, when it comes to things of demonic or satanic nature, the church does like to look in on occasion. And that's what has brought me here, humbled before you in your sheriff's office.
What do you believe has been happening in the town related to satanic worship or attacks?
I've heard word that there are strange animal attacks going on, carcasses that aren't eaten or that don't seem to be taken down by any sort of prey drive, of which I've been informed. I'm not a hunter myself, I apologize, but I'm informed it's not normal of the animals of this region. And on top of that, there are some human bodies, which I've been informed do not seem to fit well in any other narrative. And I may absolutely be wrong. I only ask for a little bit of information about this.
His brow is very furrowed, looking up and down. Father Lily, of course, the reports are accurate in that the markings on the animals that have been attacked do seem particularly strange. We have the rangers and other experts looking into what might be causing it, perhaps a species of predator that isn't native to the area has been moving south or north, but there's no signs that these were, the average teenager practicing satanic rituals on the animals. The couple deaths that we've had from campers, similar attacks, but again, we're quite sure these are just mundane, unfortunately strange attacks from an animal of some sort.
So, then you do not believe there's anything foul. Your faith finds nothing wrong with the explanations you're giving. Your faith finds it not lacking at all of what does not appear to be animal or human alike.
No, Father, I am a God-fearing man, as you asked me earlier, but I do not sense anything supernatural or hellish, or whatever you might call it, about these attacks. They are unfortunate, sad affairs, but we are looking into them. We're going to have it solved. We have increased security in the park. We're beginning to set up more cameras so we can potentially catch what animal it is doing this.
That I truly believe, Sheriff. You are doing everything you can. Please do not think that I mean to imply otherwise. I understand you were hesitant, and I get that. But as a man of the faith, it is one of those things I would just, if you could find it, to allow me to have a few moments just to look over for any sort of signs of the bodies.
Father Lily, I appreciate your concern and your rank within the church and all of that, but unfortunately, that's certainly not something I can allow you to do.
Can I take a swing at it? Charisma, empathy? I really am here on a true mission that I believe. I'll take a higher difficulty path to.
Sure, at difficulty 9. I love everyone's face when I actually give them something above like 7. Damn it. Spira's always so nice.
Until she isn't.
One success.
So the sheriff, takes off his hat and starts, scratching his hair and running his fingers through it. Father Lily, I'm afraid I really cannot allow you to just... First of all, they're not even here. They're at the coroner's office. And I really just can't allow you to go looking at bodies. If anything, if the families found out, just a stranger without any medical profession was looking over the bodies for seemingly personal reasons of interest, I might lose my job even. But if you can come back with something from perhaps a higher authority, I might be able to work with you.
I thank you so much for the opportunity. I will do everything possible, and I would not want to insult the dead in any way, as you know it's very sacred to us. I would do no wrong to the families if possible, and I'll speak to them as well.
Thank you. Is there anything else I can do for you this evening? Or this morning? Sorry, he's a vampire.
I'm afraid that's all I came here to do, and for the moment, we're at an impasse. So I'll hopefully be seeing you soon again while I try to figure out the best way to obviously protect yourself and to allow me access to settle this once and for all.
The sheriff will get up from his desk, clearly with enough noise that you can hear him moving. He still thinks, you can't see anything. And he'll come around and just gently one hand on the back of your wrist and then put his other hand into your hand to shake it.
Yep, I'll shake his hand and kind of and get up with him and let him lead me out.
Okay. We will get right back to Modi, but we do have to deal with a certain brother who has someone yelling and ranting about him in a station. So, Chad is just bolted for the car, correct?
Yeah, but when he sees when he sees brother just chilling there, he'll kind of stop and turn heel and just walk back. Ooh.
Yeah, not right for that moment, but that's a good one we'll pull up later. I need to go over these songs again.
Stupid Discord.
Yeah. Alright, we'll go
Yeah,
back
I'm just chilling.
we'll go back with this one for now. Alright. So, if you are still, like, kind of taking a look inside, you'll see the young Ranger John and the young woman as well, sort of, like, bickering a little bit, and she points at the door, and he comes running out. He'll actually burst open the door. This is too
I'll just keep smoking.
so he'll burst out the door and just catch sight of you, looking up at you. What were you doing with that animal in there?
I was investigating it, Forrester.
Why is half of its face missing?
Well, and I'll pull out the bag with the flesh on it. This here is mighty unusual, and I need to take it back to where I can examine it properly with the proper equipment.
The young woman and another man are actually going to step outside, standing beside the ranger, and he's just going to be flabbergasted. Like, you can't just take something off. And he's like going to be lost for words. And the two of the others are going to go, what? Who are you?
I'll kind of like throw my cigarette on the ground and like stomp it off with my feet, and then like stand tall. And I'll kind of look down at Ranger John. Be like, listen here, Ranger. We could either do this one of two ways. I could stand here, wait for your superior to arrive, and I'll tell him my story. Or you could try to take this bag from me and see what happens.
The three young rangers are going to look between each other, and you might even hear like really quiet whispers of like, is this illegal? I don't know if we can. I don't know what this is. And finally they're going to stand all like facing towards you. And can we just get your full name?
I've already told you my full name, Ranger. It's Albert Reese.
He's gonna take a little, like, pocket notebook out and scribble it while staring at you, and... What college did you say you were from?
UC Berkeley.
He's gonna continue scribbling. Alright, sir, please don't come back.
Well, how about you three head inside? Watch whatever's on TV. Maybe the Three Stooges is on side. And, you might learn something from there, okay?
They're all going to slowly back into the building, all still staring at you.
Pleasure to talk to you, too. And I'll just kind of look at Chad. Be like, my. Surprised you didn't wet yourself when they came out.
It's just habit. You see rangers and cops run in, you turn heel and go, I'm not used to any kind of looks up at you. I don't really have your stature.
Well, you sure you want to be a ranger boy?
What? No, I don't want to be a ranger. I want to be a hunter.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Are you sure you want to be a hunter boy?
Yeah. I want to be a hunter that's not arrested for cutting up evidence in a deer's face, but yeah.
Well, one thing I can tell you is they're much scarier things than those three in there.
What? No,
if you're afraid of those three in authority, you might be in the wrong line of profession.
I'm not afraid of authority. I just don't want to go to jail for tampering with evidence. That's all I'm saying.
I'll just light another cigarette and wait for the other ranger to come.
Chad will sneak a sip out of his flask.
What's in that thing anyway?
He kind of looks at it. It's called Kentucky Deluxe. It's if I remember, it's about $5 a pint. It's not good, but gets the gets the motor running.
That thing will cloud your judgment, boy.
I think I'll be all right, man.
Alright, so at this point, Father Lily, as well as Brother and Chad, have done their early morning errands that they wanted to check into, and Sean had said that he would like to meet again later in the afternoon, or early afternoon.
Wait, did the other ranger come by? The one that's in charge?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
You sounded like you wanted to leave, since it was getting a little weird.
Oh, no, I was waiting. I was waiting outside.
Okay. If you continue waiting for a little bit longer, his car will pull up. Father Lily, however, you finished your errands, and Sean was looking to meet up.
Yeah, I'm actually still pretty far behind these guys. I did want to make a step away, not leave the sheriff's department, to make a few phone calls that we don't have to like play out.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah, basically make some calls, find the most Catholic higher up politician in the state, or anyone of that persuasion somewhere along the lines who would help out, and get a hold of them and have them call the sheriff as soon as possible about this being okay.
Sure. So you would be able to reach out probably to your contact, tell them to contact the bishop, and do the long web of wire calls and get it all sorted. And then after maybe another 15-20 minutes of all that going through, you would get a call from the sheriff's department, not the sheriff directly, but the department, saying that you can return and speak to Sheriff Ryan about your request.
I'll be sitting out front and just turn around and walk back into the sheriff's department.
Okay.
And kind of tap my way around, looking sort of lost, but kind of going towards looking for help, obviously.
Okay, and then Sean was looking to meet with all of you. You just had your interesting meeting with Alma Matron Heathers, this is her last name, you do know that, from the information you heard about her. Are you taking any of this information, or are you doing anything more with the church information you found?
Oh, did we exchange phone numbers at the bar?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Sean?
Yes.
Do you not hear me?
Sorry, I'm messing around with Skype. You guys are all frozen for me, other than apparently I'm still broadcasting myself.
I just nodded, but you didn't see it, so...
Yeah, you guys are all frozen for me. Hold
if
on,
you want to leave the call real quick and rejoin.
I was waiting for a moment to interject.
Yeah, it's fine. I was gonna go back to you, so go ahead and do that. Now everybody's everywhere.
Alright, at least two of you guys are back.
Skype! Skype audio.
I got it.
Okay. Alright, so you had just met with Alma Heathers, known as the matron, who gave you some vague, spooky gypsy mom advice. And you have this flyer with information about local churches, and the part that stood out to you most were these ones that are in the park. Did you have anything else you wanted to follow up with?
I was kind of hoping the rest would show up before. There's not much that I would necessarily want to go do alone. Basically, it's kind of waiting for them and for the evidence I found, and hopefully checking the places out. But just because of the way the information came to me and the little bit of paranoia, he doesn't necessarily want to go scope out the three abandoned ones alone.
Does he drive?
Yeah.
Alright. I guess would I have known he drove?
Yeah.
Okay, but after this sheriff's meeting, depending on how it goes, I would ask him to pick me up at the sheriff's office.
Okay.
Hold on. 1 second. Skype is still being a dick, so let me try one more time. All right, all four of you are there. This is weird because normally it's not me fucking up.
It's Skype.
Got it. Sorry.
All right. So, Father Lily, you were invited back to the sheriff's office to speak with the sheriff directly about getting information on these bodies. As you end up back in his office, he'll start explaining a bit quickly, not too dismissive, but he's just trying to, again, he's a busy man. So he starts pulling out some files and says, listen, you can't see the bodies today. They're still actually going through, the process down at the coroner's office. The family needs to see them first. I'm sure you understand. But
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
But I can give you the basic reports. I don't know if you have a friend or colleague or something who can actually go over these with you. He's gonna trail off.
Yes, I have a computer in my car that helps with these sorts of things, reading documents and things like that. Although I would appreciate pictures. I do have a very close medical friend who would be able to describe whatever he sees on there to me. Anonymous, obviously. I will make sure he sees no names, nothing at all that links to anything.
Of course, yes. And he's gonna gather them up. These are copies. I would prefer they still come back to me so that they don't get into the wrong hands, but I made copies so that we don't lose the originals, of course.
It is, I believe it's in both of our best interests to keep everybody calm, especially if my suspicions are correct. It's best to work quietly and together in this. I hope you agree.
Yes, and he'll hand the folders over to you. When he puts them in your hands, he's gonna place his own hand over them, and you'll just get the sense that he's very still nervous and uncomfortable about handing these over. But he's doing so because of the phone calls he got earlier. Just please make sure these don't go beyond you and another, maybe medical colleague that you can trust.
I put my, holding them from behind, I put my hand on top of his. I give my word to you and to God, I will not do anything with these documents that will breach any sort of confidentiality here. I thank you so much, and I thank the Lord for bringing it to me.
Of course. And should I show you out?
I've been in here twice now. I think I can find my way. I've already wasted so much of your precious time. I really appreciate all of the help you've been. God is smiling down on you this day, I promise.
Thank you, Father. Have a good day. Please give me a call if there's anything else you need.
Yes, shall I gather your phone number from the secretary?
Yes, she'll have my office number.
Thank you so much, Sheriff. I will see you shortly, returning your documents as promised.
Thank you.
But I'll pull up my phone and text Sean that to pick me up outside the sheriff's office, if you would be so kind, for our meeting with everybody.
You'll get just a simple text of yeah, no problem.
And I will make sure to pick up the sheriff's phone number on my way out. And I'll kind of walk outside, and I'm not going to look in any of the documents. I'm going to leave them all closed and just wait for Sean.
Alright, your day was a lot earlier, and even Sean, with his later start, he'd really only gone to see Miss Matron Alma Heathers, so you're still a little earlier than Brother and Chad. So Sean arrives maybe another 20 minutes later, because you'd called him before walking in there, I think, or shortly after. So he arrives, parks outside. You're probably already standing out there?
Yep, I'm standing out in the sun, smiling.
Alright.
So yeah, I'll go ahead, pull up, and get out of the car and help escort him to the door, assuming he's... I don't know if you are still not blind at this point, but Sean would know one way or another,
yeah.
So...
Yeah, no, I'll let you escort me to the door. Thank you so much for picking me up, Sean. I apologize for burdening you with this. In my current predicament, I'm not very good at driving.
I think that's an understatement, Father, but No. You're down here assisting me. I called you, and it's the least I can do to make sure that while you're here assisting in this endeavor, that your needs are seen to, and it's not a problem at all to give you a quick lift around town. I mean, honestly, it gives me something to do. So
I'll get in the car, as he says, and I'll wait to hear him get in the car and close the door. And I'll just kind of like say, were we to be meeting at a hotel room, I believe?
yes, I'm gonna take you back to the the motel that I'm staying at. It's the one I gave you guys last night. And as we get driving, I'll just kind of casually probe the priest. Do you? Oh my!
Whoa! What kind of game is this?
I figured the priest does. I'm just joking. I'm joking. We're not going there. Do you know anything about the Hickory Grove, Blue Springs, Tharp, or the other two? There are a couple of churches up in the land between. Do you know anything about these? Just being a member of the faith.
Storyteller, do I? Are any of these Catholic or ex-Catholic churches?
No, there are small little southern churches spring up here and there. Their denominations probably range, but mostly going to be southern stuff. So maybe Baptist and maybe some Lutheran.
I don't know specifically of these churches, but usually pastors among pastors, even of differing profession, tend to get along well enough if you could get me in any sort of contact. Are they still churches in good standing, or have they derelict?
Half one way, half the other. I mean, Tharp and the other two are run down at this point, but the first two I mentioned still have active congregations. I mean, regardless if it's to only a handful of people, they still technically meet.
And what may have...
Sorry, go ahead.
What reason was it that you might ask of these churches in the area? Is there more signs?
I had a sign when I got back to my hotel. He'll reach into his chest pocket and pull out the brochure and hand it to the priest. I know you can't read it, but it's a brochure.
He'll reach out and like grab it.
Yeah, he'll still put it in your hand, being like, "It's a token of the messengers. Take it." I felt compelled to. There was something about it. I just had to grab. I just had to take one, and after reviewing and thinking for a minute, the faith in ruins. It's
ruined churches, you mean?
Ruined churches, or maybe the other two are going to be targeted. There's 5 of them, and it's all something worth investigating.
That's very interesting. Very cute of you. Thank you so much for this. Do I sense anything off the paper, Spira?
Um,
I believe I'm blind again at this point, so. But anything supernatural.
I won't say that you get anything in particular very strong. Just you with what he was saying, you feel, especially on the page that has the old churches listed, something about them just that little tickle up your spine. As a note, the other 2 churches are Azotus, Azotus, and totally true, Tip Top.
Hold on. Spell Azotus again?
Azotus, and the other one is Tip Top Church. Which I think the actual little area is like Tip Top or something. Love it.
I will go ahead and while I'm driving, pull out my phone and give. Let's go with Chad a call. So I don't know where we are in the timeline, but I'll try to give him a ring.
It's pretty close. So that would probably be about where they were waiting for the sheriff to the chief ranger to still show up. while the other ones are inside, not knowing what to do with themselves.
Sure.
I have a growly puppy behind me.
Yeah, so I will go ahead and call Chad then.
Chad.
Sorry, you're what? You're calling me?
Yes, this is while you're waiting for the ranger to show up, so during your spud break.
You'll hear rings and then an answering machine of a very Peruvian man with a strong accent named of Giorgio says that he will not be able to come to the phone right now. Leave a message after the beep. I don't have a landline. I don't have a cell phone. I have a landline inside of a shitty motel.
And then, so immediately hang up, very, very sketched out at this number you gave him. Ponders touching his phone for a few minutes, and then calls brother.
And I'll answer the phone.
Hey, Albert, how long until you guys are ready to meet up?
What time is it?
It's getting close to 12, so...
Well, the ranger's bound to roll up in any minute now, and once we talk to him, we'll head back.
You guys are currently in the park, right?
Yeah, we're at the forest station.
I actually have some business up that way. Actually, let me stop. I'll grab some sandwiches. Are you kosher or something? Is there some restriction I need to be aware of?
No, I'm not. Hey, son. You kosher?
What? No. Why would you ask that?
Nah, Chad's not kosher.
All right. I'll grab some sandwiches and a pot of coffee or something, and I'll meet you guys up there. I got the father with me that we're gonna make a quick pit stop. There's some business that I'm curious about, but we'll meet up with you during the lunch, and we can compare notes. Sound good?
Sounds like a plan.
As...
A dog barked! A wild bear appeared!
The Guru attack!
As you guys are still talking on the phone, I'm sorry, he's being really weird, I don't know why. As you guys are still talking, the 3 rangers that had been in the building come, like, running out and start running towards their cars.
Something happened?
They're not paying much attention if you're just, like, quietly like, something happened?
Can I use perception to check his head?
Like, hey!
John, the one that's been a bit more spooked by you, stops in his steps about to get in the car with one of the others. What?
Did something happen?
Yeah, building up in the park got just, I don't know. The sheriff just called, or ranger just called. We need to head up there. Arson or something. And he's gonna dive in the car, and they're gonna go speeding off.
Shit. I think I would follow. Like, I want to wait for my friends, but I think I would follow because I want to make sure they don't die.
But the sandwiches.
Shit.
You know me, player character.
Is there like smoke in the distance?
Nah.
Was that yeah or nah?
No.
Crap. They already drove off?
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna run inside and see if there's like a radio or a walkie-talkie that I can borrow.
Yep, if you go inside, there's a couple different desks with those really, like, standard, radios that are able to, like, pick up signals out in the woods.
Yeah, I'll turn one on and, like, Ranger John, copy?
After a little while, you're gonna hear, like, the crackle that's gonna come through it. It's like, who the hell is this?
It's the lovely professor in front of your station.
God damn it, man! Get out of there! Like, we're on an emergency run. What are you doing?
Listen, who's gonna get more in trouble? For you not locking the place or me stealing a radio?
You're gonna hear him like grumble, goddamn, like half a goddamn it, because he's holding it, but he lets it go.
Listen, when you reach your destination, I need you to tell me where you are, and then I'll meet you over there shortly.
You're not a ranger, man. Why the hell you even want to come up here?
Listen, I may know what is happening out there, but I need your assistance. Now, if you want my help, I suggest you comply. If you don't, well, Darwinism.
Give me, I guess, a charisma roll? We don't really have anything else to go with it. Actually, you can do charisma leadership.
I can do that.
Against 8, though.
You bitch, John.
This guy thinks you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, I think he's dumb. I think he's like Curly from the Three Stooges. I got 1 success.
Sometimes 1 is like harder to like delve out than like a fail or like a major success. You're like, oh, but like, what is that? So, John will be quiet for a little while, like a good 4 or 5 minutes, if you even like, try to like catch him again, like, hey, John, it's still gonna be a little quiet, and then, after a little while, he said, look, if you can, we're already here, call the sheriff, but if you can let the station know that, something's going on up at, Tharp Church, up in the park. We could use some extra people up here.
I'll be sure to let the sheriff know that.
And you'll hear it like fully like just like cut off.
Alright, I'll kind of step outside and look at Chad and say, well, hope the others get here soon, because we might have a couple more dead bodies on our hands.
Why don't we just tell them to meet us up there?
Oh, yeah, I guess we could do that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's why I'm keeping you around, Chad. And then I'll kind of get in the car, turn it on, and I'll just shoot like a text message to Sean. And I'll just say, what was the church?
Tharp. It's Tharp.
Yeah, I'll say Tharp Church, and that's it. Just...
Alright, Sean, so I think you were kind of heading their way already, that your phone will buzz, and you'll see that is a text from Brother.
And saying what specifically?
It just says Tharp Church.
Sean will still take the time because, he promised, and stop and pick up, a loaf of Wonder Bread. He's not rich. And some really cheap, like, Oscar Mayer bologna and, like, single slices and some Duke's mayonnaise.
Are we in the store?
We'll stop at, like, a gas station or something. A convenience store.
Oh, gross. Gas station sandwiches.
No. He's buying the products,
Ah, okay. That's better.
I'm with you still?
Yes.
We walk in the store. Most of the places there, around that area, they serve hot food because they don't really have fast food at all. And I'll sort of smell about, and I'll smell fried chicken. Why don't we, Sean, why don't we treat our friends to some nice fried chicken today for lunch?
I would love to, Father, but...
Oh no, my treat. My treat.
No, I insist. Please let me pay for it. No, 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 no. You're blind.
Shit, if you want to pay for it, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you.
Cut back to the sheriffs. Oh, God.
They're all dying!
You
Wait.
didn't say we're all dying. You just like Thorpe's Church. Okay.
Black Forest ham or turkey breast?
Why not both?
I missed the. Are people dying?
I don't know. Nobody told me people are dying.
No, it was a joke.
Okay. I was like, did I miss?
The rangers all ran out of the saying they had to get out up into meeting the chief ranger up in the woods at Tharp Church because something's going wrong. He thinks there might be arson or something else.
Yeah, I remember that. Excuse me.
Alright.
But yeah, no. So I'll pay for some fried chicken.
Not to leave it on that riveting note. Actually, no, we'll keep going a little bit longer. So Brother and Chad are following the path up to Tharp Church, up into the land between the lakes, trying to follow the rangers up there. And Father Lily and Sean, I know, baby. Father Lily and Sean will be right behind them after picking up some food. As Brother and Chad arrive a little after the rangers, they'll find that what looked like a small church, like a 30-person congregation, old church, like built in like the maybe mid-1800s at the earliest, has been like burned down, but there's no fire trucks around and it seems like it's already been put out.
Are the sheriffs there?
Yes. Well, the rangers are there. You'll like
I'm
probably
sorry, yeah, the
hear
Rangers.
stuff. You'll probably hear another like couple cars coming down the road toward it.
Okay. I'll just kind of wait in the car.
So you see sheriff or the rangers, the couple you'd seen at the place, as well as one you don't recognize, but he looks like more authoritative. He's probably the chief ranger you were waiting to meet. Just walking around the perimeter, trying to like maybe take pictures, like kicking over a piece of like burnt log, really just like looking the place over and wondering how it seemed to have burned that badly, but not even spread to like the grass or the dead leaves nearby, and just sort of like it looks like it just burned in one spot and then went out.
Chad kind of looks over at Albert. This, you don't think this is related, do you?
It might be. Have you ever heard of a fire that put itself out?
No, but I mean, we were just investigating like a deer attacked by a giant bird, and do we think the bird burnt down this church?
Well, it might be something of the occult related.
Okay, all right.
Maybe some religious fanatics summoned something and they can't control it.
On a scale of X-Files to Supernatural, how weird is today gonna get?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I don't really watch television, so let's just say it's gonna get flying spaghetti monster weird.
All right.
I don't
well,
watch TV, but I spend my free time on Reddit.
Let's get our peepers on this house then, shall we?
Let's wait for the other two. We don't want to cause too much of a stir.
What? I just saw you stab a deer in the face to get evidence and then threaten rangers? But we don't want to cause a stir?
Well, I mean, we don't want to cause too much of a scene. You get evidence the way you need to, whether it's bypassing the law or whatnot. But
Did
You
you
don't-
guys park like by the other cars?
like kind of like further away.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you didn't park like close enough to be like too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna park right in front of him. I'm like, let's wait here and see what happens. Let's just bust out
Okay.
the popcorn.
So the Rangers are quite taken with what's going on, so they don't notice you right away. So if you guys are sitting in the car talking a little bit about what's going on, after a little while, Father Lily and Sean will arrive, probably parking right behind you.
And I'll step out of the car.
I'll join.
Sean will immediately get out, reach into his truck and an old beat up Ford Bronco, and pull out a cooler.
I'm gonna open the door and like stand up and be like, I'm assuming this is the place, Sean. Doesn't sound much like a hotel.
I told you we're going to Tharp's church.
Ah, yes, sorry. I'm blind and dumb.
Well, looks like the situation down there is the church burned, but the fire, it extinguished by itself.
Do we know that? Maybe the Rangers put it out?
Well, they only took jeeps. I doubt they have. much to do
I
with a
mentioned
forest fire.
earlier. Yeah, I mentioned earlier. There's like no fire trucks around. It's a small wooded area. It's not like there's even like a well you can see in the distance. It looks like it put itself, or it just went out. Like it burned down to like. There's still like some structure to it, but it is burned down pretty low. So there's the foundation, like what you can tell left of pews and some of the stage, some of the siding and the more pillar parts that actually like held it up. They're a little more left over because they were better wood. But other than that, it's pretty burned close to the ground.
How far are we from the church?
You'd probably be, I'm bad with yards, but maybe like 4 car lengths away.
So we're real close.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like hold my hand out towards Sean. Sean, my son.
Yeah, what's up, Father?
Please lead me to the church. I wish to look at it.
Sean will awkwardly kind of set down the cooler and just kind of like, we brought lunch like promised.
Yes, but the church now, quickly, my child. Evidence.
And he'll start leading the father towards the church.
Are there police here, or just?
Nah, it's
Just
just the
the
Rangers.
Okay, I believe they're in contact with the police. Find the head, whoever's in charge, please.
Who did you say that to specifically?
Anyone. Well, I heard brother talk back, so either you or brother.
I mean, I'm dragging you to the church, so...
Yeah. You, whoever, I'm like, find me whoever's in charge. Or it looks like they're in charge.
And, yeah, I'll lead him towards the church, towards any authoritative figure I can find.
Alright, so as you get closer, the one man that actually looks kind of more older than the others that are around, and even like just his outfit has like, a couple bits more and stuff on it, turns around and sees the two of you. Whoa, hey, who are the two of you? What are you doing here? This is official Ranger business. Why are you here?
Oh, my apologies. And I'm gonna like hold Sean's hand and like keep him a little quieter. My apologies. This is my friend.
Really quick. Sean's just gonna kind of, like usher you forward a step and kind of do that whole like, you're the one talking. I'm just the dumb person leading the blind man.
Thank you so much, Sean. Hello, sir. I was gonna say sir, like waiting for a name.
Ranger Coyle, I'm sorry, who are you and why are you here? You need to leave. The police will be here in a moment.
Yes, I am very much looking forward to that moment. Actually, my name is Father Lily, Peter Lily. I'm brought in as a bit of a specialist for some strange sort of happenings that have been going on, and I really would like a look at this church if there's no imminent danger to myself at this current time.
So we're not sure. The structural integrity of the place is obviously in ill repair. Obviously, it might look like it's safer as there's no roof left, but we don't understand.
Does it look that way, Ranger?
He's gonna... Sir, I am going to need you
Father,
and your
please.
comrades here. Father, I'm going to need you and your comrades here to stand back. If you could leave, in fact, the police will be here in a moment. This is going to be an area that is going to be taken care of, roped off. We can't have bystanders around.
Absolutely, absolutely. How long will the police take to get here?
You'll actually hear what sounds like some quiet sirens in the background.
It sounds like the police will be here within, say, 5 minutes, maybe less. Do you mind if I wait here for them to get here? Or would you rather, if you could call the sheriff yourself? Time is really of the essence. I must look. I'm a special investigator. I really would like to look at this church. With your secure supervision, of course. I wouldn't want to step somewhere and get hurt. Please,
Sir,
I mean no burden. I simply wish to help. I've already talked to the sheriff.
Sir, I apologize. Whatever your meaning is here, I'm sure you mean well, but this is... I cannot have the public around here. I need you to leave.
Well, then I will civilly disobey you until the police come to take me away, if that's agreeable to you then.
He takes his hat off and just kind of like rolls back and is like, please wait by your car.
I'm quite happy here. It's a rather dangerous walk through these woods. I don't know the last time the street was upkept.
He's gonna look to Sean, who I think is like still standing next to him. Moody!
Yes.
He's gonna look to Sean, who I believe is still standing next to him.
Yep, still holding his arm.
Can you tell me that he'll remain here for now?
To be polite, he's blind and he can't exactly wander wrong. He's not going to get into any problem. He's not going to get into trouble soon.
Ranger, I promise I will not be of any trouble to you.
The Ranger's gonna give a loud, annoyed gruff, and he's gonna turn around back to searching the area, and he's gonna like snap his fingers, speak to one of the younger Rangers that was walking around as well, and tell him to stand next to two of you. What's up?
I was gonna say, so with the layout of this, there's church, and then I'm assuming some grass around it. How close is like the woods to the church? Like a tree line.
Less than 10 yards. It's actually quite close.
Okay.
It's an old abandoned church, so those trees have started to sneak up close to it.
If Chad could go to like the opposite end into the woods and start looking around through there for tracks or anything like that.
Sure. I was gonna say we're gonna like get to a wrapping up point, and we'll start with the police arriving next episode. But if anyone has any investigation, awareness, perception stuff they want to do now, and see what's in store for next week, you can go ahead and let me know what you want to do.
Yeah, I was gonna help out Chad as well.
I guess first off, it's just get a general awareness on this church. I mean, we're all kind of there suddenly, and see if there's anything ambient or just general in the area atmospherically I can pick up.
Sure. Does everyone want to just do a perception awareness?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Alright, for Brother and Father Lily, You get that tingle up the spine, back of the neck, hairs raised. Something a little funny is going on here, but you're not very sure what. For Chad, you sense even more strongly that something supernatural happened here. This fire was created by something not human, and the way it ended, like even more so, the reason it ended so almost calmly instead of creating a forest fire, it definitely sets your senses like something made this again kind of more of a message, a point of act, kind of like the animals maybe, than just let a church burn down and walked away. And Sean, you're going to get a strong sense of, I think you're gonna almost be able to tell it's something you haven't encountered yet. Like, in a weird way, like, it should be more vague to you that, like, oh, this isn't like some of the supernatural I've seen before, but that is almost gonna shine bright like an aura around the place. It's something you haven't dealt with before. The power, the supernatural aspect of it is new and shining because it's
So,
different.
it's very strong to me. Like, I'm able to, like, taste the flavor, but I've never tasted it before, so I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I perceive like him actually reacting to this at all while he's holding my arm? He is like holding my arm, so.
Sean can interpret, but I'd say so.
Sean, do
I mean,
feel him?
I think at least you would, at minimum, you know, I'm holding your arm, that you would feel me just kind of slightly, like, tense up in my nails. That absent-minded, just slight digging in the nails in your arm or something like that. At the minimum, you would get from me.
Yeah, I have 5 perception, so I'm pretty good at these things. I will notice. And Sean, my son, what is it? Do you see something?
I'm not sure, but there's a strong presence. Maybe not presence because it doesn't feel active, but something has been here that I've never encountered before. Something new to me. Not even, but something new to me, and I just it's scent or trail, I guess, is strong, but it's gone at the moment.
Sorry, keep on. All the more important, as I had thought, arson doesn't go, well, in these woods. Obviously, in this area, fire is dangerous. For it to not be dangerous was weird, I thought, but thank you. It's all the more important. You have to get me close. I can see these sorts of things.
I agree. We need to move quick at this point.
Yes, the sooner the better. We can still sense whatever it might have been.
Alright, and at this point, all of you will hear the sirens of the police cars getting closer and closer as if they're really just around the bend. Which is where we'll leave it for tonight, this week. Next week we will find out what happens after the police arrive and what more our hunters can delve into the situation around here. And we'll get this song going because I love it.
Yay.
Anyway, finishing up. Want to have a little bit of a shout out. So actually, you know what? Let's have each of you do it yourselves. Revolver, talk about yourself.
Hi, my name's Revolver. I'm a late night variety broadcaster. I do a wide variety of indie games as well as like other titles that I'm interested in, RPGs, stuff like that. I start at 10:30 p.m. PT and I go for about 6 hours. And yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. It's a lot of fun so far. I'm enjoying it.
He's a great variety streamer. Definitely check him out. He's fun to watch and he's super goofy. Always fun. Koznark, talk about yourself.
Oh God! I try to stream sometimes, but it's been a rough week. My apologies. A really rough weekend, so my schedule's been a little wonkier than it normally is. our house that we live in was just sold to someone else. We rent. So that's been a whole process we're still dealing with. And we've started 2 new games. So I've been very busy with that. So I'm really hoping to get some time in tomorrow, but there is Vampire Overlays to revamp. Hopefully tomorrow we'll start around 1:30, streaming something, probably Fortnite, maybe Pyre, depending on if I feel like reading to you for hours.
Char, do you want to talk about yourself?
Of course. I feel like we all got kind of like hit with the same thing of like housing. I know Rev's been dealing
Yep.
with it. Now you guys and now me. But yeah, I switched to a new job. So my schedule has been fucked for streaming.
But follow
But
them
yeah.
anyway.
For sure. Yes. I just need to find time on when I'm going to be able to fit it in. But yeah, please go to my channel, hit follow, and I variety stream mostly with Cosnerk. So, I mean, if you like him,
Yep.
you get to see me too. It's like a 2-for-1 package.
And we do shout-outs in the StorytellerSpira Discord, too, in the announcements page.
For sure.
And Modi is mostly just a captive of this channel, playing in our games, but he will also be captured sometimes by Kozark and Shard to play games with them while they're streaming. And for this channel, keep in mind that tomorrow is our usual Vampire the Masquerade New York by Night game. Fridays...
Hold on. It's tomorrow is Emotion Fest 2017 Part 2. Bring your emotions, be ready to feel them. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be fun. And then Friday will be our 2nd episode of our new Anarch game, ST'd by Revolver C here. So come and check that out. If you haven't seen the first episode, go watch the VODs, check it out on YouTube. Alright, we love all you lovely people. We'll catch you tomorrow or Friday or whenever you can. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye!
Come hang out with us in Discord afterwards.
Yep, on the Discord channel, link below.